How many weeks vacation? 8. 8 weeks vacation. So every 90 days, you should take 2 weeks off, 2 weeks downtime. And I have realtors say to me all the time, I can't wait to be successful so I too can take 8 weeks vacation. Do I say, well, so are you not successful now? No, I'm a brand new realtor. If you are a brand new realtor, your odds are higher in 2023 to hit your goal if you take 8 weeks vacation. Now that doesn't sound right, does it? It doesn't sound like that would be correct. But the more time you take off, the more production you do. And so if you are work, in fact, when you get in those zones where you're working, you get in a mental rut, yes? You know how you know when you're in a mental rut, psychologically? When you wake up in the morning, a weekday, Monday through Friday, you wake up, whatever time that is, and then the first thought you have is, what's my day today? When can I take a nap? I could go to the office and do some work and then come back at 1 o'clock and have a nap. If you have that thought as soon as you wake up, you're in a rut. If the first thought you have is, when can I take a nap today? You guys understand what I'm saying? Somebody's looking at me like, I'm in a rut right now. I thought that this morning. Wait, it snowed. I'm sitting in bed all day. So, you know when you go on vacation, you're leaving on Saturday, and so to go to the Caribbean in February, right? You ever notice on Wednesday, the phone starts ringing off the hook? Do you ever notice that? Yeah. So I'm going to tell you why that happens, and it's proving the point that I'm trying to make here. So you're leaving Saturday, so Wednesday you get a message. Hey, it's time to list the house. Now you say, that is awesome, but you're thinking, you're kidding me, right? You gotta be kidding me here. And then Thursday, a buyer calls. Hey, it's time to get looking. Again. You say, that's awesome, but what are you really thinking? You're kidding me, right? Yes or no, people? Yes. Okay, so I'm going to explain to you why that takes place. Because that's not an accident. We know it in real estate, and we even say to others, hey, if you want to get busy, take a vacation. Yes or no, people? Yes. But do you ever stop and wonder why that happens every time? There's a reason. It's not an accident. Because what are you about to do on Saturday? You're about to back it down, yes. So why are things picking up now then? Here's what happens. You know you have a conscious mind, yes? And you know you have a subconscious mind, yes? Your subconscious mind, you cannot know what's happening in your subconscious mind. It's kind of in the name, subconscious. Because people say to me all the time, Rob, I am quite aware of what's happening in my subconscious mind. To which I usually respond, that is an idiotic statement. Who comes to my seminars in your office and stuff? Okay, you know that statement, there's no stupid questions? You know I don't adhere to that, correct? Because I usually say, seriously, you're asking that? You seriously asked that question? Okay, you know what, stop talking. That's kind of how a stupid question will go, yes or no? Okay, and if you show up late, you know in your office I'm going to stop and stare you down, right? Or, if you ask a question, I say, you know, if you weren't texting 10 minutes ago when I covered that, you know the answer to your question. Stop texting, ask somebody else that question. Yes or no? You know, can I say something you guys promise not to be offended? Yes. I'm going to need the promise. Because the vast majority are looking at me like, I want to hear it first. I want to know, come in advance. Sometimes it's like you're like running an adult daycare. Me, you. That's what it's like sometimes, running a coaching company or running a big team. It's like running an adult daycare. The things you guys say, yes or no? Yes. You know what I'm telling you is true. All right. So the conscious mind and subconscious mind, here's the process taking place. So you're leaving on Saturday, 72 hours before you leave, your subconscious mind goes. It goes. It's already on the beach. It's drinking pina coladas. It's soaking up sun. You don't know it because it's your subconscious mind. And when people say to me, I'm leaving Saturday, I'm going crazy. Yeah, your subconscious mind has left and it's on the beach already. No, I'm focused right now on everything here. I know you are consciously. You're explaining to me how your conscious mind is right now. I don't think my subconscious mind's doing that. How would you know what your subconscious mind? I'm telling you what it's doing. It's gone already. Yes or no, people? Yes. And then what happens is this. Because your subconscious mind, where all the power of your brain, the law of attraction, the ability to bring heaven and earth to you, is in the subconscious mind. And where is it right now? It's on the beach, sipping a pina colada, yes or no? So your brain now, subconsciously, is in a perfect state. We're not. Are you doing something with your hand there? You got a question? You want to come see Daryl? Just get up here. Get up here. Run. That's not really not running. Right there. Beautiful. Okay. See? I know where I am. I'm trying to figure out exactly where I am, not kind of where I am. So anyways, listen. So that means now for this Wednesday to Saturday, your brain is in the proper state for the law of attraction. Because your subconscious mind, which possesses it, is in its perfect state. Yes or no, people? Yes. You know, some magnets are powerful enough to move a coin if a coin was still metal. Yes. But some are so powerful that in a junkyard, they could lock onto a car and move it over here, yes? So when you hear about the law of attraction, it's like that. It's not a metaphor, it's a physical thing. You're not metaphorically attracting, you're physically attracting, but not all at the same level. Because the law of attraction would be in play at some minor level or some major level. Do you understand that? But it's not like a made-up metaphor. You are physically magnetic. So Wednesday, your subconscious mind leaves, and your brain goes into a state of perfect harmony for the law of attraction, and it activates the law of attraction at a level like the magnet that moves the car from here to here in the scrapyard. In fact, you pull people off the fence. Yes, think about it. It's so powerful. That guy that calls you on Wednesday was going to list his house next year. Now he wants to do it today. That buyer was going to do it 2 months ago. Now he wants to do it today. You're so physically magnetic to business. The first thing you're going to do is pull everybody off the fence. Before you would attract other people, but you're only going to be here for 3 days. So all you really have time for is to pull the people off the fence. I'm telling you, that's what took place. But you know what that also means? What bogs people down is all the nonsense going on in your head about life and business and things. So what that means is, on the Wednesday when your subconscious mind left to go to Jamaica, or wherever you went, and put your brain in that perfect state to make you physically magnetic to pull the first group of people, which is the people on the fence, yes? You pull them off first. You would pull more, but you're gone too soon, so that's all you deal with. That also means that on Tuesday, you were not magnetic at all because of all the crap in your head. That's what that means. You are physically unmagnetic. You're not attracting anything because all the nonsense going on in your brain. Yes or no, people? So I'm saying here that if you want to, take advantage of 2023, you have to make a realization here that if you're thinking this is a work year, you're incorrect. Your odds are higher with having this thing happen many more times. They're really mental exhales, yes? And they clear out your brain, and then you become physically, and then you come back, and life starts happening all over again, and business. Yes or no, people? And then you get all clogged up, and you have no magnetic power whatsoever. Doesn't mean you couldn't do an open house, and somebody comes in, and they like you, and you list their house. That could still happen, but the law of attraction is not working in your favor. You're actually, you can be so bogged down mentally that you're actually experiencing the law of repelling. The opposite to the law of attraction. You see, every coin has two sides, yes? We don't talk about the law of repelling very much in these types of settings, but it's the opposite to the law of attraction. Do you guys agree? So that would mean probably in Tuesday and before, there's so much junk. They promised me that listing with somebody else. First of all, when they promise it to you, that's the kiss of death. Is it not? Haven't you noticed? Every time they promise you a listing, they list with somebody else. So I got a solution for that. Would you like to hear it? Yeah. This is like bonus material. So in my career, you guys can tell I'm limping, yes? So I gotta have surgery on my knee. So people are like, oh, are you gonna be okay on the stage for a day? Who was here 3 years ago? We had the lady on the stage with no arms or no legs. She had no arms and no legs. Prosthetic everything. She hopped around here like a crazy person. Talking about how awesome life is. I'm thinking, I'm pretty sure I can do it with a bum knee, yes? Yes. Next time we get her back, you gotta hear this lady speak. It's amazing. You think you have some issues? Oh yeah, but what about this? She's a beautiful woman with a family, small kids, and she got flesh-eating disease. It took both her legs and both her arms. And now she's a motivational speaker. Well, there's some problems in there for a while. Get that. But you think about your problems, yes? In fact, when she was on the stage, I was looking over here, looking at her, everybody was looking at her thinking this. I don't have any problems. I don't have any problems. Like that was the reality of the audience, yes? Like, yeah, so I was depressed because I'm up 5 pounds. Yes? Okay. So, first point is this. If you want to have a better chance to manage 2023, you need to, right after we're done today, we're not to be in here anymore, you have to go book at least 6 or 7 weeks. Get out here today, go X off 6 or 7 weeks. Ideally, spread it out. And I'm telling you, your odds are higher hitting your goal with more time off. That's how success works. It's in my book, Success Explosion. That's what you're trying to have, yes? So guys, first things first. If you think work is going to increase your production, work is going to drive your production down. Because you're going to get bogged down, yes? You've got to get away. We have one of our coaches even, when we first got him as a new agent, I could not get this guy to take time off. No, I want to work. Yeah, but your brain doesn't work that way. Then I talked him into taking a vacation. He came back and said, I feel so refreshed. Yeah, knock all the crap out, yes? Now, I got to get him to stop taking so much vacation. We got to work some too. So first things first is the real people that are really successful, they understand that they need to take a lot of time off. You know, when I was selling 100, 150 homes a year back in the day, I was playing hockey 4 times a week in the evening. And selling 100, 150 homes a year, how many hockey games in that time frame do you think I would have missed because of real estate? I would never miss one. I like my career. I like my real estate career. I love my coaching business. But my life is more important than my coaching company by a long shot. And my life is more important than my real estate business by a long shot. I see sometimes realtors send me a flyer. What do you think of this? Why are you saying you're available 24/7? And first of all, ladies, there's not a guy on the planet who doesn't go, really? Stick that in my back pocket for someday, 24/7. Well, it's the opposite of what I'm saying right now, is it not? If you're trying to be everything to everybody, you're never going to get anywhere. It's the other way around. It works the other way around. Full 180. If you want to be in high demand, everybody rush you, stop trying to be everything to everybody working all the time. Back it down, yes? Every time I go to a Leaf game, I see Daryl there. Okay, hundreds and hundreds of sales. Oh, I can't go to a Leaf game, we got a sale. Really? Well, 4 turns later, go to a Leaf game, yes? I can remember hundreds of times when I'm in the middle of an offer, and I say, okay, they didn't take our sign back. Because there was a time when you would make an offer, they would sign it back, you would sign it back, they would sign it back, you have a deal. It took like an evening. It doesn't happen that way anymore. And I'd say, okay, they didn't take our sign back, so we're signing it back. It's 8:30, my game's at 9:15, I gotta go. Pick it up tomorrow. And I would go. And then sometimes realtors would say, what do you think they thought? Why would I be concerned what they think? I would say to you guys and gals, the most limiting characteristic you can possess as a person is the need to be liked by everybody. There is not another characteristic that would be more hindering to you than the need to be liked by everybody. So I would say, I got a 9:15 game, and I got to go, so we'll pick up tomorrow. And I would go. And I would not think what they think. I know what they said to me. Yeah, you got a game, go. You work hard. That's what they said. That didn't matter. But honestly, what is more important to you, your life or your business? Think about that. Hockey is part of my life. Yes or no, people? So you have to make this separation. It's all part of more time off, more making your life more important. Who has kids that are like school age, like grade 1 through 8? You ever notice when they do their Christmas concerts or their Easter thing, pageant, whatever, it's only realtors that cannot sit still for 1 hour. You gotta take those calls. You gotta be everything to everybody. What if they choose somebody else? Put your phone away. Who likes golf here? If you play with me, you cannot bring your phone. If I play golf with you and you bring your phone and you answer the phone, we're never playing again. I remember one of my favorite offices is Leading Edge. Any Leading Edge people here? Yeah. So Paul Barrett, great guy, played golf, took 5 calls. He said, I really enjoyed your round with round today. We're never playing again. We're never playing again. We are never playing golf again because you took 5 calls. You can't do that. Guys, do you want to be in high demand, yes or no? Yes. You've got to understand that the more going is what's slowing your business down. And the proof is in the going away, and that 72 hours in that time frame is chaotic, yes? Why don't you just live in that? Why don't you just live your life in that? You go, I don't know, pose some problems. Yes, some good ones though, yes? Who would like to have this problem in real estate? Too much business. Too much. Live in that 72 hours. You understand that? It's the only reason you're not in that. That's just the law of attraction, which obviously is non-existent prior to that because of how you're thinking. You understand that? So you want to take advantage of 2023 or any year, you got to understand something. You can't work all the time. The life does not, success does not work that way. You know the Inman list from New York? They rate companies. And that's their job. Imagine a bunch of guys sitting around, we should make a company. What do you want to do? I don't know. Why don't we just research and list top 25 companies? Okay. That's what they do. They don't do anything else. They've never reached out to me, but we're always on the list. They rate us as the fastest growing coaching company in North America. Do you know why? Because we don't work all the time. We don't work all the time. I take way more than 8 weeks vacation. I have scheduled times I can speak, maybe 180 times a year. That's it. And most of them are booked this year. There's still some spots available. And then offices all the time. I'm booked. I don't say I'm not working these days. I'm booked. Because if I add more in, I will slow the process down. You guys understand that? I guess I'm saying this. If you want to be in higher demand, start playing a little harder to get. Which is the opposite of 24/7, yes? Ladies, you've been playing hard to get your whole life. You should be good at this. This shouldn't be something new to you. I've been doing that my whole life. Be a little bit more setting standards. Not available all the time. I go for dinner with my wife, I don't take my phone with me. Go to a movie, they don't have to tell me to turn it off, it's in the car. I don't live that way. Because I want the law of attraction to pull. It's just that 72 hours is just the best example, but the whole thing expands out to the less available you are to people. The more you're just living your life, the more they get drawn to you, yes? You ever try to get some clients and you promise, and they don't choose you? It's the opposite of what I'm talking about. You're trying to be too much, yes? And then they don't choose you. Like, I feel dirty now. I feel awful inside. I mean, what I offered was insane. But that's not what attracts people. Yes or no, people? I'm just telling you how this principle works. So you want to knock it out of the park in 2023? Don't work so much. Next point, write this down, please. You have to understand how affirmations work. You have to understand how affirmations work. Now, I don't think you could ever go to a session and not have the person talk about affirmations. So, but the truth is this, they are ridiculously powerful. Your conscious mind speaks to your subconscious mind. The subconscious mind possesses the power, but it's not in charge. It's very much like a battleship. Who's in charge on the battleship? Captain. The captain's in charge. Him or her.
Sorry guys. Don't lose your train of thought.
I won't.
Someone is parked illegally, and then you can move their car. It's the license plate CCCT 999. So if that's you gotta go find a different parking spot. Alright? CCCT 999. It's a black car. I don't know what it is. Alright? Anyone in here?
First of all, I have no idea what my license plate is. Sorry. No, I have no idea. Oh, wait a minute. Mine's Rob Vivian. I forgot my own name. Rob Vivian. Yeah, that's right. Yes.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah, okay. So here's the thing with affirmations. So on a battleship, the captain is in charge, and the engine room is running the ship. On a battleship, the engine room never questions the captain. The captain's in charge. The captain's not doing anything. He or she is barking out the orders. In your brain, it's like that. And most psychologists, when they explain the conscious subconscious, they use this illustration because they like it. So I like it. So the captain barks an order. The subconscious mind receives it and makes it so. That's how affirmations work, yes or no? But you think about when someone would be saying an affirmation, they would be saying an affirmation to fix something that was wrong. Yes? Like, for example, let's say they don't like calling their database, which would be ridiculous. So they would say, the captain would say, I love calling my database. They love it when I call. Everybody say that with me. I love calling my database. They love it when I call. Let's say it again. I love calling my database. They love it when I call. That's an affirmation, yes? So you're saying something to fix the stupid thing that the captain said earlier. Like, I don't really know that many people. Everybody I know has a realtor. I don't want to bug them or beg for business. Yes? The crazy things you say. But the subconscious mind, the engine room, on the battleship, the engine room doesn't question the captain. Neither will your subconscious mind. It won't say, I know you're saying that you don't want to call them because it's that, but it's kind of in the program. That would be the engine room questioning the captain. Yes, it never happens on a battleship, and it never happens in your brain. In fact, neurologists are saying because information never goes this way, either the subconscious mind knows its job, or maybe it cannot. But either way, information only goes this way. And so you say an affirmation. Your subconscious mind hears it. But the thing that it's fixing, I don't want to bug them big for business. Maybe you've been thinking that for a while. So that thing has a bit of an identity, yes? Do you understand? So the first time you say an affirmation, the subconscious mind will receive it, but this opposite is greater at this point. You guys understand that? So what has to happen is you have to say it enough times to override the old one. It's called neuro-linguistic programming. This is what Tony Robbins does. That's what he does. So the problem is this. It could take, if somebody's been licensed for 10 years and they are, been saying something negative, the captain said the wrong thing, so they don't call their database. They'll make up a story. I don't really know that many people, or I knows a realtor, or whatever. Some weak story that you made up because the captain said the wrong thing. This thing might have an identity, so it may have to hear the other affirmation for 10 days, 15 days, 25 days, 30 days. You may have to hear it for a period of time until the new thought becomes greater than the old thought. Do you guys understand that? It's not an instantaneous thing. It doesn't work that way. And then when the new thought becomes greater, the brain would take the new thought, take the old thought out, and put the new thought on the same neural pathway, which is why it's called neuro-linguistic programming, NLP. And then the old thought's gone, and it's like the old thought's never existed. That's just your new belief. You guys understand that? So let's just say it's going to take, I don't know this for sure, but whatever the depth that the belief you have that you're trying to fix, maybe you suck at the morning schedule. So your affirmation is, I'm up at 5:30, and my morning is my strength. My morning is my money time, because right now you're sleeping until 8:30. Yeah? But the sleeping at 8:30's got some identity. You guys clear on that? So let's just say you have to say the affirmation for 17 days. I don't know that that's true. I'm just picking a number. You guys clear on that, right? Because sometimes when I do that, people say to me, how do you know it's 17? Okay, you know what? I'm guessing at a number here. So here's the thing, though. You have to say it for 17 days in a row. Because you get on a bit of a roll. My morning is my money time. I'm up at 5:30, alive, excited, full of energy. Okay, well on day one, the subconscious mind hears it, but nothing happens. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then you stop. You can't come back a few days later and start at number 8. You must start back at 1 again. Do you guys understand that? Yes. So I know that you always hear about saying affirmations, but if you really think about it, how many realtors, people, would say affirmations enough days in a row to make the switch? You guys understand that? Because if you don't make the switch, you haven't accomplished anything. You guys clear what I'm saying here? So when you hear somebody teaching this, they're usually saying something like, say your affirmations in the morning, noon, and 6. Yes? Yes? Times, yes? Which will never work. I think the morning you can probably do because you just got up. But are you alone at noon? Are you alone at 6? Imagine if you're out with buyers at 6 o'clock and you say, okay, I just gotta say my affirmations. My buyers buy first time out. You don't have to, it's just my affirmation. Point is, remember, you're probably not alone. Would you agree, yes or no? So the times will never work to get enough days in a row to make the switch. You guys, that's how affirmations work. So you can't just every now and again say an affirmation and think something's gonna happen. It has to override the old thought. And if that old thought has some depth, it could take some time. So write this down. Say my affirmations every time I drive alone in my car. Say my affirmations every time I drive alone in my car. Okay, so because we're realtors, we drive alone in our car a lot, yes? So that's been my habit from 1987. So when I park my car, I go to the office, I go here, I go there, like 4 or 5 times a day. So the first 1 minute, I turn on my car, I say my affirmations, and then I turn the radio on. I get lots of stations, but the only ones I listen to are 590 or 1050, which are the 2 all sports radios. I get other stations too, but what could be more interesting than that, right? West. Anyways, so you would think, is that enough? So I need a volunteer. Sure, you. Jump up here, let's go. He says, I did not volunteer. You sat in the front row, get up here. That's on you. And you're right in the middle. Yeah. Get around here. All right. What I want you to do is I want you to say as loud as you can until I say stop. I love calling my database. They love it when I call not yet. You guys agree that's a good affirmation, yes? Yes. I want you to say, you got it? I love calling my database. They love it when I call. Okay, go ahead. Go. Loud.
I love my database all the time.
First of all, what? That's not all I said. Stop. Okay, go. I love calling my database. They love it when I call. Say it.
I love my database. I love when I call.
Okay, that's good enough. Okay, go ahead. All right, go. Say it as many times as you can.
3 times.
I said as many. First of all, hold on. We were supposed to be done already. Okay, so I love calling my database. I love it when I call. Say it as many times as you can until I say stop. Go.
I love my database and I love when they call.
Good enough. Close enough. Keep going. Keep going.
I love my database and I love when they call.
No. They love it when I call. They love it when I call. Go ahead.
I love my database and I love when I call.
Go again.
I love my database. I love when I call.
Again. Okay. Thank you. Great hand. Okay, let me tell you how that was supposed to go. It was supposed to go like this. I love calling my database. I love it when I call. I love calling my database. I love it when I call. I love calling my database. I love it when I call. I love calling my database. I love it when I call. I love calling my database. I love it when I call. I love calling my database. I love it when I call. I love calling my database. I love it when I call. 20 seconds. That's a good affirmation, yes? So in 1 minute, you can say 3, yes? 20 seconds, 20 seconds, 20 seconds. You see, we had a guy join coaching and he faxed me. That's how you know they're a US client. They still fax a lot. And they could, like, the fax sheet hasn't been used in a while. We have it there. It's like, you know, it still works because anyways, he faxed me his 50 affirmations. So I don't always call the clients when they join. They get processed and sent to a coach and away they go. But I had to call them because this can never work. So I called them and I said, so welcome to coaching. If I got to call many of us, I might as well pretend I do it all the time, right? Hey, welcome to coaching. I got your list of affirmations. I read that every morning. I go, yeah, but none of this stuff's happened. He goes, well, how do you know? Has any of this stuff happened? No. Don't make this conversation difficult. None of it's happened. He goes, correct. So the reason none of it's happened is because that's not how the brain works. You can't read 50 things to it every morning. Here, imagine this. The captain. Radio down to the engine room. Hello, engine room, this is the captain. In 10 minutes, take it up to 10 knots, 5 degrees to the starboard, captain out. That's how that would go, yes? What if the captain radioed down to the engine room and gave him 50 instructions? Captain out. Would the engine room look around and say, does anyone know what we're supposed to be doing first here? Or next? If you read 50 affirmations every morning, your brain's not going to take action on any of them. You have to give it specific things to do, yes? Maximum 3. Solve 3, move to 3 more. Solve 3, move to 3 more. My point on this one, on affirmations, is because of the time required to override the old thought, the identity it has, I don't think realtors see it through. If you don't see it through, let's say it would take 70 days. You go to day 15. Then the subconscious mind is like, this is gaining identity. It's about to overtake this one. And then you stop. You come back next week, start week day 1 again. So you think about when you say as a habit, affirmations, do you say them long enough, often enough to override, or are you just saying positive things? You're not having the effect unless it overrides. All clear? Okay, so we're going to have a panel. I've asked the clients on the panel just to do this. We have different questions all the time, so I wanted them to just say this. The 3 things that they are doing right now that's working for them. That's what I want them to tell you. So we're going to have a panel now, one after lunch, one and then after, one before lunch, one after. We started a little late, so I'm juggling a little bit here. So on that note, please give a warm welcome to Monica Kavanch coming up here. Sarji Gill coming up here, and Michael De Silva. Okay, big clap or nothing? It's so good to have you guys on the stage. Oh, Monica, I'm not suggesting it's not good to have you on the stage. Because you've been here before. Yeah. So, okay. All right. Pull seat over here, Michael. Okay, so I'm gonna introduce them, ask them some questions, those things, and then you'll have an opportunity to ask them some questions. Michael, this is his first time on the stage. Is your wife here?
Yes.
Is she videoing? Oh, there you are. Yeah, that's exciting. That's awesome. And so you're in Sudian's office.
Yes.
Yeah. And we were talking the other day, and you were saying that before you got, who's your coach? Mike. Before you got Mike, production was spotty?
Yeah, that's strong for sure.
Yeah.
There you go. Can you hear?
That's probably my fault. And then you jumped to 250, 280, now we're going for 400, yes?
Yeah.
So without, like, that's what most of you are trying to do, yes? We're going to have some people on that sell millions, but really most of the group's trying to do this, right? So without sounding over dramatic to you and your beautiful wife, that's life-changing.
100%, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So that's you. Monica is, so we got people here from C21 United in Peterborough, the group from there. That would be, that one I could understand not coming today, Peterborough. People didn't come from Pickering. So Monica's been in the business 4 years.
Yes.
Yeah. And I met you when you were brand new.
Yes.
Yes, so because I coach your office, you always sit directly out from me, slightly off to the right. Yes. So you were like a zero agent when you got started, yes?
Brand new.
Yeah. And now last year, number 7 in the company.
That's correct.
Yeah. That's pretty awesome. And FYI, Peterborough doesn't have 75,000 sales. They have 5. Okay. So that's Monica. Sarjeet, you're with
Good morning.
Good Morning. Office?
I'm from Home Life Miracle.
Home Like Miracle, yes. And I've been off and on with your office for like a long time.
It's been, I think, 2016, 2017.
Yeah, for 5-6 years, yes. Yeah, you always sit at the front.
Always on the front.
I like that. So here's, so I'm going to ask each of them. So question one, 222, 333. So the questions are, like, what are you doing right now? That's what you should be thinking, that's working for you, whether that's a mindset thing, a structure thing. So what's something you're doing in 2023 that's working for you? Because you're doing really big production.
Just following the Rob Vivian instructions.
By the way, your coach is bragging about you nonstop, just FYI.
Thank you. Natalie Ford is helping me a lot, but mainly what I'm doing is following Rob Vivian instructions a lot. What he says and what he coached is really meaningful. Especially, he guided me to structure the business. Because I was kind of lost in the big crowd, but he helped me in structuring it up this way that 1 in 4 leads will work out. Say, okay. I never adopt that for the longest of the time, but then I started observing it, and really it happens. And then he helps me, naturally also to set up the goal, like how much production you want. Again, it's the same thing, 1 in 4. So you only look for 120 leads. So now I am only looking for my targets, and it's helping me out. I'm looking at that target in my farming area. That's the one which is very much focused and being consistent. Always going over there, whether I'm doing 10 door knock or whether I'm doing 100. And then that will help me to raise your conversations. The more conversations you have, the better will be the outcome. I follow the same thing, having more conversation on the road with the people everywhere. I think Rob is really helping all of us in unstructured business how to get to structure. So area is helping me, farming is helping me. The other pillar, which is the second one, I never believe in the pillars. So I formed the pillars. The second pillar which I am writing is the just suit.
Are you doing all 3 questions one here? You saw the first question here?
I thought like you
remember that I'm teaching the seminar, right?
Thank you.
I see that you're having fun. So that's the Monica. I'm going to tell you, hey, Krista, I want an off button on the microphone here. Okay, so basically what you're saying is, for all the time I've known you, Natalie's making you work the structure, specifically the 1 in 4 working out. Okay, just say yes. Yeah. You're going to get talking.
For me, it's my morning schedule. I definitely, I need that structure, and I just follow my morning schedule. Anything that happens between 6:30 and 1:30 is my money-making time.
Beautiful. That's excellent. So I'm going to actually teach on the morning schedule and a success principle on the principle of momentum, psychologically, why that's so important a little bit later.
So I would say that...
Stop. It's great having you up here.
Well, thank you. Appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
No disrespect, but I remember when you just got going there, started doing some things. So.
Thank you. Appreciate it. But yeah, for sure, I would say thanks again to Rob for having me here. And, the coaching has really helped me from struggling to doing what I'm doing today. But I would say, same thing as you said, basically the morning schedule is the number one thing that I've changed in the business to get to where I want to go, right? Waking up at 5:45 in the morning, going to the gym, and then taking my son.
Go to the gym.
Yeah, taking my son to the daycare, and then making sure from 9 to 11 is a prospecting time, and making sure that nothing kind of interrupts you from doing something else, right? Obviously, there's going to be some days where there's going to be something else has happened, emergency, whatever. But if you're doing 80% of the time, you're doing well, right? So.
Yeah. Okay. Good. So morning schedule. Yeah. Making sure you get all your lead stuff.
Exactly. Yeah.
So basically working now.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So I'm basically working now. So we'll go down. So what's another thing? This is the second thing.
I would say mindset, because obviously Rob's been saying too with the media and everything like that, saying the market's really bad and things are horrible right now and the market's crashing and whatnot. I'm the only time I watch the news is literally at the gym and they have the screen in front of you and you kind of have to watch it, right? So not paying attention to all that kind of stuff and just going forward and being positive, and there's always going to be money out there to make.
No, that's it. Say that last thing again.
There's always money out there to make.
Monica, what's another thing that you're doing this year?
Going back to the whole thing about the market crashing and worlds falling apart, mindset is the big thing. It doesn't really matter what's happening in the market. It's 1 in 4 that works out is the important thing. So whether it's up or down, it doesn't really matter. Mindset is you have to think about what you're thinking, and you are what you think about, and just do it. Don't worry about what people are telling you. Don't worry about what buyers are telling you. Don't worry about what sellers are telling you. Just mindset and do it. That's it.
Okay.
Number
I
three.
want to know something else that you're doing, not another seminar, okay? Although they're all good points.
I'm really thankful to Rob for helping me structuring it up. He always wanted to keep me in discipline, but probably at the business I'm not. I never looked on, like, anybody asked me how's the market. Market is hot. And me and my good buddy CB, like, we recently sold one beautiful house. In that open house, we really kind of drum it up, beat it up, and we're seeing in 7 days close to 300 showings. We've done the open house, more than 100 people walking. But we keep the mindset as market is hot. Market is hot. I think he has already done 8-9 deals, and the raw message in December I shared with him also, that get your list up for the January, the 20. The list of 20 people, the list of 20 people, the list of 20 people. So during from Christmas days, we went to all our past clients, handed over them the gift, and out of that we start noting it down, who can be in the January, and we really find people. They start referring to us, and that's how we are able to produce it. So Rob is helping me in getting discipline, and that's probably what's building up our momentum. So should I step out to 3?
That's all right. Well, actually, because we have the microphone, what's the third thing that you're doing?
Third thing we are doing is we do have radio talk shows. We are doing it for the longest of the time, but we never promoted those radio talk shows on the Facebooks and other social medias. So then Natalie suggested me, why not when you do those radio talk shows, record them and start promoting them. And very recently in our open house, I heard a lot of people, they are listening to it also. They have kind of on those groups, and it's helping. So as I mentioned to you, that the structuring of it's an unstructured business, Rob really helped me to structure it up. Look it more simple. Don't keep the mind confused. 1 in 4 works up, 1 in 4 works up. Go for the prospecting. Love the people you call. People loves you. Simple. Thank you. And thank you, Natalie.
Hold on, before you say something. So basically, all the things you said in your little seminar there, the real key thing was that you kept coming back to, you are just trusting that 1 in 4 leads are working out, right?
I trained my mind that this is the only.
Oh, no!
Train my mind that this is only button. So if I'm doing 50 deals, 200 deals. Simple. Not looking at the next one. Go on vacation, enjoy the beach.
Don't give them the microphone back when I ask them a question. No, don't do it. They can ask you questions later.
The third thing I'm doing is my affirmations and my gratitude list. I say my affirmations on a daily basis. Absolutely, when you're alone in the car, and driving from Peterborough is a bit of a waste, so you have lots of time. And my gratitude list, I read that every morning. I think it's very helpful, and also definitely my coach, Mike, keeps me accountable 100%. So without Rob and Mike, I wouldn't be up here.
That's awesome. By the way, what did I say? Clap big or don't clap? Come on. Like the queen clap looks lame. Like when people queen clap, they even look away. Big claps, yes? By the way, that's quite a statement suit you got on there. That's a good one.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. Was your pipes pumping out there. Can you make it a little shorter in the sleeves on your arms, please? Go ahead.
So basically, the third thing that I'm doing in the business is getting out of my comfort zone, doing something like this today as well, and just meeting more people face to face is one of the other things as well, and just calling the database more often. I always have that that outlook that they don't want to hear from me, or they don't want to bother them situation. But I like getting in front of people, so what I'm trying to do is just call my database, take them out for coffee, have rekindle those relationships, and just starting with a relationship again, so you can build on the business more often like that as well.
Excellent. Good. Okay. You're getting it, especially people right in front of me. Because they're like, we're not going to screw up anymore. Okay, does anyone have any questions of these guys? Yes?
My question is, how did you guys motivate yourselves when you wake up in the morning?
Are you asking one particular person that one? Monica, the pretty lady in the middle?
Yes,
Yeah.
Yes,
How do you motivate yourself in the
I'm
morning?
motivated in the morning when you wake up on time that I need to make money. It's my money time. The way you're talking, because I'm having real difficulties with that.
So pumping your day up.
My office told me go with Rob. I do Rob's training and I'm coming back. But they said go with Rob. Rob will put you in place. So.
Thanks for saying that exactly the way I said to say it. And you were right on time too. That's really good. And he's a way better role player than you. Yeah, way better. Good job. So Monica, how do you get jacked up in the morning to get your day started? That's a gratitude list, isn't it?
Absolutely. My gratitude list, yes, you have to read that. But prior to real estate, I was in a 9-to-5 job, and I look at real estate as a 9-to-5 job-ish. Meaning I make sure I'm in the office at 9 o'clock, no matter what. So yes, there's things that happen, but 9 o'clock you have to be there. And then from 9 till 1:30, I make my calls. That's my job. That's what I have to do. And then, of course, my coach keeps me accountable. I have my numbers I need to fill in, and you don't want to disappoint others. You could disappoint yourself, but you don't want to disappoint others. And the other thing is, I have a win board in my office, and it states how many deals I want to do this year. And I look at it. Right now it's kind of bare pickings because it's early on, but I have to make those numbers. So yeah, just think of it as a 9-to-5 or a 9 to whatever, but you need to be in the office at 9 o'clock no matter what, and read your gratitude list first thing in the morning.
What's your name? Michael. For Michael, those are coffee dates with past clients, just getting face to face with them. If you just had like a professional deal with them, how do you keep them from being awkward,
I think if you're keeping up with them, it's not awkward at all. You're just kind of bringing them out and having a regular conversation, right? I don't like to strictly talk straight into business or anything like that at first, especially with people who I haven't, seen for a very long time. But you just kind of want to build those relationships back up so you can have the confidence and comfortability to talk business with them, right? So it's a quick coffee, right? It's like 10, 15, 20 minutes, whatever. Go there, have a quick coffee, even invite them over to your house or whatever, see the wife, kids, and things like that, and keep it simple, right? You don't have to overcomplicate things. Yeah.
I would not be inviting your lady clients over to your house to meet your wife and kids. Like, hey honey, a friend here bringing over. It's interesting though, because I don't think that if I was meeting with some past clients to have a coffee, I don't think it would have popped into my head that it might be awkward. I don't think I would have had that thought. When you asked the question, I was squinting a bit. A couple of people left from were like, why is he squinting? Because I was thinking, I don't think that would pop in my head, that this could somehow be awkward. So you might want to challenge that thought a bit deeper, because I don't think I would have had that thought. I don't think that would have popped in my head. So I'm not saying it's not a good question, but I think the bigger would be, maybe why am I thinking that way? I would think we're gonna have an awesome time and they're gonna love it. That's what I would think is gonna happen. It's like my whole listing career, when I go on a listing appointment, I think they're gonna love me and it's gonna go amazing, I'm gonna take it. That's how I would think it's going to go. When they don't choose me, I'm shocked. I don't say that. I'm shocked. I just am. So, because realtors call me and say, I got this listing appointment tomorrow night. I don't think I'm going to get it. Wait, what? Well, why are you saying that? Well, they're probably going to see the local farmer. Did they say they were? Well, no. They're probably going to want a commission cut. Did they say they were? No. So if you didn't go on this appointment, what would you do? I'd still play with the kids. Just do that. Because wouldn't it be better? Because the thing is, if you go there thinking anything other than they're going to love me and choose me for sure, you end up trying to prove your worth, right? And if you have a conversation and a mindset of proving your worth, you know what that leads to? Concession, 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 concession. Deep cut on the commission, plus I'll cover this. That's what proving yourself leads to, yes? What about just the mindset that I'm going to go there, they're going to love me. It's going to go amazing. And they're choosing me for sure. But the same is, it's going to go amazing. We're going to have coffee, it's going to be great. Things like that, right? It's a bigger question than you think. I think you're going to challenge your inner thought on that one, right? Why would you think that? You could easily, you believe you become what you think about, right? So, just you. What's your name? Andre. Just repeat after me. Just Andre. Then you can clap for him in a big way after he does it. It'd be better than him. I love meeting with my clients. They love it.
I love meeting with my clients. They love it.
Say it again.
I love meeting with my clients. They love it.
You're coming on the stage next time. That would be the way to yes. So that, because there's a deeper, Questions, please, guys?
Yes.
Question for all three.
Mr. Energy, go ahead.
What was the biggest habit you had to change?
Oh, that's a really good question. I want all three to answer quickly.
I would say morning schedule for sure.
Yeah. Well, I joked because you're working now.
Yeah.
You were working before. You're a realtor going to the office periodically. Yeah, you're working now, and the morning schedule is a lot. Yeah.
Just get up and do it. Don't think about it, just do it. You know what you have to do and get going.
100%, yeah.
Rob said quickly.
Yeah, I didn't say that. Get to it.
So get to it is, not many people have asked the same questions in a different way, and they all replied. Discipline will bring the momentum, so keep yourself in the discipline.
Okay,
Definitely.
take the microphone. Because you made a great point. Just leave it at that. Discipline. You know, when people join we get an opportunity to help folks in one-on-one, and then you can be up on here, right? And it'll be great for me if you could just be up here, yes? I know we have some panels coming up later where there's some $1 million producers. We're looking more like 4 to 7 here. The truth is, for most of you in the room, 4 to 7 will be life-changing, yes? And think about the first point I gave you with lots of time off. 8 weeks off. And lots of time off to yourself, making your life more important. So you can go ATVing, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, you got a lot of figures on all of that. Last time you live in Peterborough. You go ATVing. You guys just walk on the boardwalk? Yeah. That's an ATV thing. Okay, any last question? Yes?
Hi.
Go ahead.
This is on the lines of what you just said, that you should have your life, you should play hard to get. However, most of it...
Oh, wait, I didn't say you should play hard to get. I said the ladies should.
What I meant was, like, most of the engineering, software, they say you should get to a point where it's 5 minutes as the...
Okay, so let me just repeat your question. I got it. So he's saying that we are saying that psychologically, as a success principle, it should be a little harder to get. Where some coaching companies are saying you should get to a lead within 5 minutes. I 150% disagree with that. That's psychological, that's incorrect. I know if a company doesn't understand psychology, they might say that. But think about this. You call the bank and you want to have a meeting with the bank. And you call them and you get them. I'd like to have a meeting. Can you come over right now? You're available right now? They go, yeah. That's weird. You call a lawyer. You want to come in for a meeting. Oh, you want to come over right now? Are you available right now? I know what he's talking about. Get into it. When you make yourself that available, it sends them a weird message. Now listen to me, I gotta tell you something else that's not in my material psychologically, but it's in the brain, when you have a statement or a thought, there's something called the embedded command. And that's all the subconscious mind hears, that word, and it makes that thing so. So in other words, if a brain was to think, I don't want to lose that, the key word in that thought is the word lose, yes? So even though your thought was, I don't want to lose that, the only word the brain hears is the word lose, which makes you magnetic to loss. The opposite statement, I want to lose that. The key word in there is lose. So you're still magnetic to loss, so you want to lose it. So if you make decisions in your real estate career that are based on the fear of loss, which is what that would be, I gotta get back to sleep before someone else gets it. If you're making decisions based on the fear of loss, you are magnetic to, I don't think you want to be magnetic to loss. So companies that would teach to be right on like that do not understand psychology. So you'd want to be magnetic to business, yes? Not magnetic to loss. Like for example, you're working through your day, and it's 1 o'clock. You got some more things to do on your to-do list. Someone calls, "Hi, we'd like to see that house." So I'll go right now. Well, you're doing that because you're afraid that if you put them and call them back at 4 o'clock and finish up what you're doing, they might go to somebody else, yes? Which means you're making a decision based on the fear of loss, which makes you magnetic to. Now you shouldn't say to them, "Look, I got 7 items, 4 are done, you're right on me." Just say, "I'm heading into a meeting, I'll call you back at 4 o'clock, what's the best number to reach you?" They go, "Here." And they go, "Okay, so 1 second, stop." And then, now you're not making decisions based on if you make decisions based on the fear of loss, you are magnetic to loss. And feeling like you must call all the leads back immediately, you are making decisions based on the fear of loss. That's why I wouldn't teach to do that. Wait, or stop, go. And then you.
Thank you very much, Rob. I want to probably answer this question. If I'm wrong, please correct me. What he says is that companies teach them to respond immediately. Doesn't mean that you have to be there for a one-time immediately. When they say 3 to 5 minutes of response time, that is if somebody contacts you or on an email or with a text, you have to be responsive. And for that, nowadays, there is an AI system available that responds on your behalf. You don't even have to take up the call, but you can take those calls automatically, respond to them, that I will be available, and you can send them your.
I got it, yeah. So, Moustaque's one of my favorite people. I mean, I never do live streams with Rob Vivian Convention. You're the best. So still no, but thanks. Eloquently put. So the thing is this. So if you have some sort of AI that they know that's not AI response, I am saying that if you want to be in demand, stop being available to everybody so quickly. So if I'm not an active realtor now, but if I was, and I was getting online leads, I would not call them in 5 minutes. I would call them the next scheduled time when I'm scheduled to return those calls. If they're gone somewhere else, it's fine with me. If the AI responds, whatever your automatic response is, that hey, listen, thanks for responding, I'll get back to my earliest case, or it could be an hour, or whatever fits in. It could be right away, it could be down the road. I realize when offices pay money to buy beer people online leads, they would like them to call them back right away. I get that's why they tell them to do that. But I'm teaching you psychologically why, if you make decisions based on the fear of loss, you're literally magnetic to loss. Yes?
I agree with that, and I sometimes...
Oh, wait. Thank you. The questions are supposed to be here, by the way.
Well, okay.
What?
But no, the psychology of being called immediately, to me, I'm disturbed by that of somebody, but it's akin to being in a store and shopping and somebody being right over your shoulder, or a lawyer that's an ambulance chaser. I think that you have to give them time to sort of settle in, and then you approach them, 10, 15 minutes, half an hour.
I think I agree with you. I just want to do it in your schedule. Like, guys, most realtors' favorite activity is the drop and go. Abandon what you're doing and chase someone else. Abandon what you're doing and chase someone else. Abandon what you're doing and chase someone else. Just work in your schedule. When it's time to return them, return them. If it happens to be right now, great. If it happens to be down here, great. But there's no doubt that if you do something and you get an immediate response, it's going to seem weird for sure.
How do you control your emotions during work when things go sideways? Or during work when you have to...
Okay, we got the question. So this is the last question, and we're going to take a little break, and it's for all three. And I'll repeat the questions. How do you control your emotions when things go sideways? Because we already know that's going to happen. Because we already know that only 1 in 4 leads works out. We already know that, right? So you're already gonna, things are going to go sideways. So when they do, in fact, it will go like this. If you want to sell 20 homes, you need 80 leads. Of those 60 that don't work out, you're making the call on 50, and 10 are going to be very disappointing. That's how it's going to go. It's a given. So when that happens, how do you handle it? That's a really good question.
So before, when I wasn't doing a lot of production, I would say like everything kind of was a big deal. And once I started doing more production and more business, then those type of things didn't really bother me much or at all. Right? Even like say if a family member doesn't choose you for whatever reason, right? I used to it's like a stab in the back situation. Just last week, my wife can attest to this. Her aunt actually said she wants to use another realtor for another property, but things like this happen, right? You just gotta move forward and get more business, right? That's it. Okay, don't let it bother you too much, right? It's all in your control.
It is definitely part of the process. It can't go any other way. And realtors sometimes say to me, how can I not be disappointed with people? Don't sell anything. Do nothing. But if you find 80 leads and you'll have 20 deals, and of that 60, as I'm saying again, 50 you'll make a call off or I'll call whatever, but it's going to be 10 hurtful or disappointing moments. There is no way around that. That's part of the process.
For me, it's mindset. Initially when I first started, everything bothered me because everything was a big deal. And then now getting on with real estate, and I absolutely love it, I try to control the things I can and the things I can't. They just go over my shoulder, and if you can't do anything about it, don't worry about it.
There you go.
I'm going to say quickly. But it's good view I had it before lunch, and what the question you asked is a beautiful question. It always stays in all of us our mind, even in the Rob. Just how to handle it. As Rob coached me, that 1 in 4 gonna work out. And the beauty part of that is, yes, I'm not worried for the remaining 3. They are there for the next year. So you already trained your mind that 1 in 4 gonna work out. You're looking for 1. If 3 not gonna work out, you're okay.
There you go. Okay, give a big hand. Big hand. Big. Thank you. Exit stage left, stage right, I can say. Or either way, go one way. Scatter. Right. Big hand. Big. When I called Michael to be on here, we had to have a conversation about it, right? Yeah. Are you sure people there? I wasn't able to say to him, don't worry, we're going to have a big snowstorm and then 300 people aren't going to show up. I wasn't able to say that, although it did happen. So, but I said, when you're done, you're glad you did it, yes? Yeah. That's fine. All of you should want to do this, yes? Go from where you are to something significant so you can tell people how you did it. You should all want to be on here on some of my future events. We're going to take a short break. Let me tell you a couple things first. Down there, you guys didn't know that's my daughter. I have 2 children. Josh down there and Krista. So I have 2 kids. One's amazing and one's pretty good. They always try to figure out which one's that. Every Christmas they fight who wins Christmas, because after all, one of us is awesome, one's good. So they're both awesome. Okay, Sean reminded me that I said earlier that when they say to you, we're listening with you for sure, and I said that's the kiss of death when they say that, because then they never do, that I had a great line that made them listen with you, and then I forgot to tell you what it was, yes? I can't believe nobody said, hey, wait, what's that line? So when they say, we're listening with you for sure, I am telling you that I'm not suggesting that at that moment they're being insincere. They're probably not. They probably do mean it. But with the accessibility to other realtors, open houses, and so on, it's just that they don't. Correct? So what I say to them, and this is what I'll tell you to say, which will get them listening with you every single time and will solve that issue. So in my whole career, even now when I'm helping Josh, they say, oh, no, we're listening with you for sure. I always say this, you know, I wish you hadn't said that. And they say, well, why is that? Well, because every time somebody says they're listening with me for sure, they never do. They go, no, we're listening with you for sure. See, that second one that they mean, they're not listening with anybody else. So the next time somebody says to you, we're listening with you for sure, just say, you know, I wish you hadn't said that. And they'll say, why would you say that? Because every time someone says that, they listen to somebody else. We will not do that. It's that second commitment that really has them to you, so that'll solve that for you. Well, tell us that.
Sign him up right there.
Okay, that's an idea, yeah. So you could just sign them up right there, and that would be the end of that. Good call. That's part of the positive mindset I was suggesting you have. So let me give you the next point on, as I'm talking in the morning here, about things that you need to think a certain way. Because the truth is, if you are not wired correctly, you can't win. It's because you become what you, not what your energy level or your hustle or anything like that. It's what you think about. That's the direction that you're heading. You have to think correctly. By the way, a whole bunch of you were saying to me at the break there about my knee. Okay, guys, my knee is going to need some surgery. I'm hobbling around, yes? It's okay. And then some of you say, well, why don't you just stop playing hockey? Okay, so I could do that, and then it would heal up, and then I'd be able to walk around and dance at a wedding, because it's easy for guys to dance, right? I don't know if you ever noticed this, ladies at a wedding, but guys, we do a dance called the boxer. You ever notice this? Like, we just do this. Right? That's a guy dancing at a wedding, is it not? No. Until you've had 4 or 5 pops, and then limbs start flying out. If you ever see that happen, you'll always notice that there's another guy who dances over there and says something and then dances away. The guy goes back to the boxer. Because what that other guy doing is he's going over because you're reminding him. Boxer, buddy, you're not a Saturday Night Fever here. Boxer, oh yeah, sorry. So I suppose I could do that. But the thing is, what if I'm out with my lady one night and some guy's getting out of line and I can't protect her honor? Think about that. Now somebody's like, do guys actually think that way? Yes. What if I cannot protect her honor? Yes or no, people? Yes. What if I got a bad wheel and I'm like, I'm going to be the guy in the YouTube video that gets punched out? Who wants to be that guy who gets slapped around on a YouTube video? So, therefore, I have to fix it, yes? Yes. Okay, so stop telling me to leave it alone. All right, next point is this. We have to control our emotions. We have to control our emotions. And it's a funny thing that was actually a lot of the questions that were asked to the last panel. We have another panel coming up, maybe about a half an hour. Have to control. One of the questions was a direct question from here on, how do you handle it when something goes sideways? How do you keep that in line? That was a direct question, but they were all around that. So you're going to have to control your emotions. Otherwise, you're going to be the person that has no law of attraction at all, except 72 hours before you go on vacation. You're going to be that person. You're going to be all bogged down mentally, and then for 72 hours, the law of attraction is working in your favor in a big way. But why don't we make that bigger? So we've got to control our emotions. So write this. There's a couple of points here. Right? The first one, write down, get over things quickly. I know everybody says they're good at this. The truth is, hardly anybody's good at this. I'm good at this. It's not a characteristic or quality that I was born with. It's one I learned. But every now and again, when I have a spat with my wife, does anyone else do that? You know, something significant like it's 7:08, which is puck drop. Where's the converter? I put it away. Away. Away is on the coffee table. That is away. That's where the converter belongs. Yes or no? Yes. On the away. That is away. Away where? So, and meanwhile, she's trying to explain to me why. The game's coming on. It's not time to have this conversation anyways. Does Does anyone have spats with their wife or spouse, significant other? Yes? Doesn't seem like there's very many. A lot of liars here. So, I have a belief on this one, getting over this cookie, that I've lost the need to be right. If you think about the need to be right, there's some things in life you probably should be right about. But most things don't matter, would you agree? Yeah. So I'll be able to spat at my wife and you go away, right? And you come back but I'm over it. And then she's not. And so by the way, just a little note here for guys. The wrong thing to say now is, are we still talking about this? I know that, because that's what I said. So that's not the right thing to say. So now I just pretend that I'm still in it until she figures out and goes, "You're over it, aren't you?" Kind of a while back. I just get over things quickly. I've told this story many times. It's one of my favorite stories illustrating how a lady made this mistake this day. In my office in Ajax, there used to be a cafe around the corner. I would go there every morning at 7 o'clock. Open at 7, I get there, the coffee's dripping, nobody's there, me and Debbie, it's called Debbie's. Where'd you get that name from? And so I would have a chat for 5 minutes and get a coffee. I go in there and there's a lady there. I'm like, that's weird, was it 7 o'clock? And she's being impatient. Well, it opened at 7 and it's 7. And the coffee's dripping like right there. And she looks at me and she goes, "When it rains, it pours." By the way, that statement, you know what that means when someone says that, when you hear that statement, when it rains, it pours? What that means is this. About a month ago, or 6 weeks ago, something happened in that person's life that wasn't in the positive ledger. This is a personal one. And they were not able to let it go. And then because of how the law of attraction works, now for the last month or 6 weeks, they've been magnetic to negative things, yes? So what are you going to say eventually? When it rains, it pours, yes? So I know better than to get involved in this situation. But still, I said, can I just ask what happened a month or so ago that's really been bothering you and you haven't been able to get over it? And then she started to cry. Which, for guys, we don't know what to do when women are crying. We have no idea what to do. Should we touch or I don't know what to do. Just stand there awkwardly. And then a guy walks in, and I'm thinking, what's going on here? So he looks at us, and he thinks he reads the situation. He sees her crying, he sees me, and he whispers to me, "Did you guys just break up?" I just met her like 3 minutes ago. You met her 3 minutes ago when you made her cry? Buddy, you can't get in the middle of a story trying to figure it out. So I said to her, do you want to chat for a few minutes? She's not a realtor, but she's in insurance sales. Well, they go to all the same stuff, yes or no? So her knowing she should get over things. What happened a month ago? How did you know that? Because that's how that goes. If something happens and you hold on to it, the law of attraction will bring more of that to you, yes or no, guys? The law of attraction is only good things. In fact, if you look at our planet, it's bringing bad things to people 99% of the time. It's just the law of attraction. It's not a positive thing. It's just you're magnetic to what you're thinking about. And she's focused on, well, this person, they said they were going to get their insurance with me. Oh, there's a shocker. Like, you had to leave, Yeah, but this one hurt. Okay, well, we said that earlier on the panel. You want to do 20 deals. You find 80 leads. 60 do not work out. That's a mathematical absolute. Of those 60, 50, you'll make the call on. And 10 will be very disappointing or hurtful. Yes? There's no way around that. That's going to happen every year. So her scenario was one of those 10, her sister-in-law or something. Yes or no, people? Yes. And then because she held on to that and incubated that, the law of attraction brought more negative to her. You understand that? And everything seemed like a big deal. So we talked about that. She cried some more, and then I've never talked to her since. Right? But she knew better. She goes to the same stuff you guys go to, just different speakers, yes? Same thing. So when things happen, you just got to get over them. One of my books, I forgot to tell you guys about my books. I just want to tell you about that. So I have 5 of them over there. The Realtor's Magic Formula. The grass is greener on this side of the fence. Not that you should stay here, but if you don't get square on where you are, you can't go anywhere. Success explosion. Expecting awesome daily, like living in a state of mind that would, you'd be just expecting awesome things to happen. And my latest book, It's Time, Your Awesome Life Awaits. They're $20 each. All 5 are $60. So that's not 1 free, that's 2 free. Anyways, B, so controlling our emotions. I'm going to talk to you about something that might be a tad controversial here, but it's still factual. So, because you know our media and world is nuts, right? Like it's insane. Do you not think sometimes you could get enough exercise just shaking your head on the things you read and the things you see? Like, yes or no? Like 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 calories. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 calories. So much nonsense. And so I'd like you to write this down. It's going to sound a bit weird when I have you write this point down. Write down, I should be more disappointed and less outraged. I should be more disappointed and less outraged. More disappointed, like like disappointed with somebody, or ticked off with someone, or annoyed. And less outraged. In fact, have you not noticed on your phone, oh, there's outrage on social media. Outrage, outrage. That word, yes? Outrage. This person says something, there's outrage. Do you know, before politically correct, you hardly ever use the word outraged. That's not a word you use to describe very much what's going on. In fact, outrage is an emotion that is damaging to you. It is a damaging emotion to you inside, the chemicals that release in your body, to be actually outraged about something. It's about as far away as extreme emotion get. Ticked off with somebody. Oh, I'm annoyed with that person. I'm very disappointed in that person. There are levels moving away, and at the far extreme is when you are outraged. You guys understand that? So, truth is, you should probably never be outraged, or very infrequent in your life, not in a week or a month or a quarter. It's a damaging emotion to you personally, that extreme emotion, the chemicals that releases from your brain, to you personally. Do you understand that? So, but I notice now that we used to have a process. Something would happen, and then someone would say, well, that's really disappointing. We're really mad at that. And then eventually, somebody may be outraged, yes? But have you noticed how quick this day and age we go from where we are to outraged? Yes or no, people? Outrageous. It's outrageous. Somebody said something. There's outrage on social media. Like I'm telling you, if that scenario that's come into play the last 2 years, going from zero to outrage becomes commonplace, we are into a world with all sorts of diseases inside. There's no dispute from anybody that worry, that it's an emotion, yes? Worry can cause an ulcer, yes or no? Because your body, in that worried state, releases chemicals to your body, which creates ulcers, yes or no? Now you imagine a world with people living in outrage. Think about that. That's the same thing. That's more extreme. Worry is along the way there. That is the worst emotion that you can possess and have, damaging to you, yourself personally on the inside. And I am saying in my life, until 2 years ago, people were upset with people all the time. But all of a sudden, last couple of years, you notice how outraged everybody is? Outrage, outrage, outrage. When you see that, you should find that foreign and move away from that. That is a very, very bad thing. A person that understands that outrage is the furthest emotion away, the most damaging one to you personally. If you're going to control your emotions, you should not go there. Would you agree? So I know this sounds strange, and I wrote about it in my book, It's Time, Your Awesome Life Awaits, explaining this, saying, we spend a lot more time being ticked off with people, and annoyed with people, and disappointed with people, and a lot less time being outraged. You guys understand that? Because that's this trend that we're in, if that becomes commonplace, that is very bad for your health. Control your emotions. Write this next one down. This is sort of part of the same point, C. Move away from the emotional edge. Move away from the emotional edge. Okay, so what I mean by this is I talk to realtors all the time. In fact, I get probably 15 calls a day, except for the beginning of the year, then I talk to like 50 a day because everyone wants to get going, right? So sometimes I like tomorrow, for example, I'll be sitting down. So if you said, I left you a message a week ago, I'm aware of that, with 20 other people. I gotta find time to call everybody back. That's tomorrow, by the way. Except for 1 o'clock with Anna, there she is. People are telling me things, and I can't help but feel, this doesn't seem that big to me. Like, I get it, this is something, but it doesn't appear to me to be as significant as you're making it out to be. So if you just visualize there's a cliff right here, it wouldn't be good to, oh, that's weird. I can hear myself right there. I like hearing myself. So I can't go that close to it. It wouldn't be good to live your life at that edge. Would you agree? Like, everything on the scale of 1 to 10, challenges, personal, because they can't all be 10s. Some things got to be a 5. Some got to be a 4. Yes or no, people? Like, if remember we talked about 72 hours before you go away, and your subconscious mind gets in its optimum state of mind for activating the law of attraction to the extreme, and the first thing it does is pull people off the fence. That's the first thing it does. That's what's happening there. Well, you're going to kill all of that if you're a person that's always living on the edge. If you're always living on the edge, at some point you're going to stumble and fall over, yes or no? So on purpose, move back over here. Live over here, yes? So I find that when I'm talking to realtors and they're explaining something to me, and I'm like, okay, that sucks. But I mean, on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm calling this a 3. Yeah, but they're calling it a 10, yes? But you know what? When you live at the edge, everything's a 10, is it not? Everything's a 10. Well, you have to be able to keep your emotions in control. Otherwise, look at the market, yes? Look at the market in the GTA. Now, I think it's great, but there are 70,000 realtors vying for 75 to 85,000 sales in 2023, yes? Yeah. So, if you're over there, you're going to be a mess, yes or no? So, move away from there, live back here, don't live there. Go there every now and again if you want to, but live here on purpose. Move away from the emotional edge. Write this next one down, please. And we had talked earlier about, they kept mentioning the morning schedule, and I said I have something to share with you about the morning schedule, and then after that, we're going to have our next panel on the stage. So I'd like you to write down my morning schedule, and then write the word momentum. And I want to share with you a success principle, momentum, that connects to the morning schedule. It will help you out a lot for your business. As they said here, kept mentioning morning schedule. So there are there are principles in the natural world. And then there are success principles. They're different. But there are a few principles in nature that migrate into the success world, and momentum is one of them. Another one is the principle of giving out. I'm sure all of you would like to be independently wealthy, yes? Yeah. Somebody's looking at me like, this is a trick question. So I'm going to say it again, and you're all going to yell the word yes. You all want to be, well, that sounded southern, didn't it? You all want to be independently wealthy. Yes! Okay, you should want that. But the problem is this. There's a principle that if you want to make and accumulate money, you must be generous. It must flow out. It can't stop at you. If it stops at you, I'm sorry to tell you, but the success world will not let you be wealthy. You can make a lot of money, but you can't keep it. This is why every single office has lots of realtors that make $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 and still advance checks. Well, if you make $200,000, $300,000, $400,000, $500,000, $600,000, $700,000, shouldn't have to advance checks. Would you agree? But why do so many realtors still do that? Is your brain telling you, was this from planning? Or is it that you don't have the proper pass-through and the proper generosity that the success world will let you make money but won't let you accumulate it? The natural world, probably the best illustration of this would be the Sea of Galilee, and beside it, the Dead Sea. Do you know what lives in the Dead Sea? It's not just called that. Dead. Nothing lives in that sea. Here, not far away, the Sea of Galilee, flourishing. There's fish that live in this sea, don't live anywhere else in the world. It's a very flourishing place. Both lakes are fed by the Jordan River. Both lakes. The same water runs into both seas, I should say. But the Dead Sea collects and keeps. It does not have an outlet. Whereas the Jordan River has multiple outlets. Or the Sea of Galilee has multiple outlets. So flourishing, dead. Yes? That's a principle in nature that applies. That's one of the ones that translates over into success. So if you want to be successful where you can make a lot of money and accumulate, you must be generous. It's one of your pluses, by the way, Daryl. It's one of your natural pluses. You must look for opportunities to give. If you just try to collect, you'd be the Dead Sea. Do you understand? So that's not the one we're talking about. I'm just giving an example of another one. There's not very many that translate in, but momentum is one. So in nature, if water goes over a waterfall, and the waterfall is 20 feet high, the water will travel 20 feet and then go that way, yes? If it's a really raging waterfall, 20 feet that way, just a trickle, 20 feet that way, yes or no? So once the water goes over the top of the waterfall, it has now momentum. And it will, nature would say, it's going to complete its cycle. The cycle is the height. You understand? It's not going to go 10 feet down and go back up. Once it goes over the top, it's committed. The cycle will take place. You guys get that? That's how momentum works in the natural world. Or an avalanche. The snow goes down the mountain, stops at the bottom, yes? If it's a killer avalanche with power, it doesn't go down, and because it has so much momentum, it goes up the next mountain and down the next mountain. It doesn't work that way. It crashes to the bottom, yes or no? Or a mild one. Either way, the snow goes to the bottom of the mountain, stops. That's the cycle. Or the perimeter. That's the principle of nature. This principle comes into the success world. It's one of the other ones that does. And it's connected to your morning schedule. So let me explain to you this way. I am saying to you that, who's on my 5:30 wake-up call? Did you get on that? Oh yeah, you did the day. All of you can be on my 5:30 wake-up call if you want to. You don't have to be a client. There's no charge for it. You'll be with the 200 people that get every work day at 5:30. Their cell phone rings, and I say, it's Thursday morning. It's 5:30. This is the work day. Get your butt out of bed. Get out there and make this day count. Have an awesome day. Just like that. Yes?
Yes.
So if you want to be on that, just email me and we'll put you on that. So if you're on that call at 5:30, and then you're at noontime, so 6.5 hours. If you get up at 6, it's 6 hours. I'm saying to you, when it comes to the morning schedule, that principle that's in the natural world is also here. So whatever you have at noon, you have the rest of the day. Do you understand? So at 5:30, the water goes over the waterfall for that day. So at noontime, the water's already committed, yes? And in the natural world, the water will complete its cycle. Do you get that? It's not stoppable. It's the same here. So if I call Jasmine next Tuesday, and I say to her, hey, it's noon, tell me about your morning. If she says, honestly, this is a really good morning for me. I get up, I worked out, made all my calls, returned some calls, it was great. I did a perfect morning. Okay, so at this point on this day, she has it going, yes or no? Yeah. Okay, so she could not stop that if she tried. The water's gone over the waterfall already. She's going to have a tickety-boom day the rest of the day. Everything will fall in line nicely because she has positive momentum, yes? But if I call her on this day and I say, Jasmine, tell me about your morning. And she says, honestly, Rob, for at my caliber, it's embarrassing this morning. I slept in, I haven't done a darn thing. It's embarrassing, actually. Okay? So at noon here, she has negative momentum, yes? I am telling you, it's not fixable for the rest of this day. The water's gone over the waterfall. You guys understand what I'm saying? It's just go, finish the day. So if Jasmine has showings at 4 and an offer at 7, of course she would still go to them. But from a momentum point of view, it's just going to be off a little bit. You guys understand that? So you shouldn't try to think, okay, I'm off. How can I get on? Why worry about it? It's going to fix itself tonight, yes? When you go to bed tonight, you can't wake up with lack of momentum, yes? So I'm saying to you this, and they were talking on the panel about the morning schedule. I'm saying this to you. And this is the reason that Rob Vivian Coaching, Mike Ferry Coaching, Tom Ferry Coaching, Kathleen Black Coaching, Richard Roberts Coaching, Brian Murphy Coaching, and the other ones that you know. Nobody has afternoon material. You ever notice that? You ever notice that? It's your morning schedule material, yes? Where's the afternoon material? There isn't any. Why would you have any? See, whatever you have at noon, you have the rest of the day. So if you want to have positive momentum in your business, when you wake up at 5:30, 6 o'clock, don't think about the whole day. I got to do this, and then I got showings, and I got the offer, I got this. That's a lot to take in, yes? Just focus on getting those first 6.5 hours correct, knowing that this principle applies. If you have good momentum in the morning, you couldn't stop it if you tried. You're going to have nice momentum the rest of the way. If you have bad momentum in the morning, I don't care how many time management tricks you know, the water's gone over the waterfall. It's going to complete a cycle. It's just the way momentum works. You will still do your things, but it won't seem tickety-boo. Click, 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 click. You understand? So from a morning schedule point of view, in 2023, you want to take advantage of Conquer 2023. Just focus on the morning. Just get up and get the morning right. Yes or no, people? Yes. Just get the morning right. Okay, so now, my favorite thing is the panels, by the way. So Jared is supposed to be with us today. Great guy doing, I don't know, $1 million. But his kids are home from school, so he's dad today. So, but I do have Oswald, Emmanuel, big hand. Right here. That's right. And one of my favorite people, not that you're not my favorite person, Jasmine Lee and her guy. He's filling in for Jared. Hey, buddy, how's it going? Yeah, he's filling in for Jared, so we'll ask him some questions. So, let's start with the important question. Do you have a girlfriend? Okay, I just wasn't sure what you're telling your mom and what you're not telling your mom. I don't really know. Let's get the elephant in the room out of the way here. Oh, he's going to be good. I can tell right. Oh, he's going to steal the show. I can tell right now. Okay. He's got lots to say. That's awesome. Okay, so it's going to be the same 3 questions for everybody. I'll let them introduce themselves in a sec. I've asked all of them, and after lunch we have Daryl, a few other people on after lunch. And so everyone's going to say the same thing. Like, this is what we're doing in 2023 that's working for us. So the same format. But why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself first?
Hi guys, my name is Jasmine.
Nope, push the button.
My name is Jasmine Lee. I've been coaching with Rob from the very beginning. Our team's been established since 2004. Our team's in the building. Whoop, whoop. and we love real estate. And here's the CEO of the company, because everything we do is for our kids. So he is the CEO of our company. So you'll see it on all of our branding.
Yeah, I see he's a little bit of an outgoing guy.
Yeah.
Okay, just hold on. What year would you say we met? 2008 or so? Yeah, so just want to tell you guys this is kind of cool. So I was in this room. This is where we met, by the way. I was standing here in 2008, and Jasmine was sitting right over there. But she wasn't Jasmine Lee yet. Like you know Jasmine Lee now. New agent, sitting right over there, asking lots of questions, hung around till the very end, talking to Sugan like crazy, and Oswald. So I met Jasmine here in 2008 as a brand new agent in this room. That's awesome. Yeah, you should clap on that. All right, young man, tell us a bit about yourself. Tell us a bit about yourself.
A bit of myself is that I'm a gamer. And I normally don't stop until I beat a level. That's basically like when you feel like you can't do something and when you feel like you can't do it, that's not true. All you just need is
it over. You'll be talking in a bit. You ended on a good note because that was awesome. Hold on. Let me tell you guys a little story here because that's awesome. You guys know I have an 8:30 motivational message, right? Yeah. So I was talking to our guy from Rhode Island, and that's the time kids take their kids to school, right? And he called me. He said, "You won't believe what happened today. I had the kids. How old are you?" You don't know. He was 7, so it was his age. And they all had to go up in front of the room and talk for 2 minutes on anything they wanted. And the parents and there was just to get the kids out of the comfort zone. Not that you would struggle with that. And so this kid got up there and said, most of us talk about their dog, sports and stuff. And he said, I want to talk about why people don't have awesome things happening in their life all the time like they should have. Because their mind gets in the way. And all the kids were confused and all the parents were crying. This is like my motivational message. Like, since he was 4. And then we say 3 times, something awesome is going to happen today. Something awesome is going to happen today. Something awesome is going to happen today. He said the kids were so confused, and all the parents were crying. We did a little of that.
Hi everyone, my name is Oswald Emmanuel. I talk slow. I'm with Royal Elite Signature, coaching with Rob from the day I started as a realtor. So I was brand new to real estate. Rob came to our office to do some training. I saw him and I said, okay, I don't know anything. I was an accountant. I'm going to now do real estate. Let me follow me. And here I am.
Well, so you sat in the back, slightly off to my right. I believe it or not, I know where y'all sit. The back off to my right there. But then I said to you, you're going to make like $1 million in 1 year. How many years did that take? How many years did that take? 4.
4 years.
So in 4 years, you wrote $1 million in 1 year.
Correct, yes.
And then you sent me some photos of the house you built.
Yes, I had.
I have seen lots of nice houses. It's got a bowling alley in it. Like a full-size one. See it, please. That is really something. Considering before we met, you worked at the bank.
Hospital. In the hospital.
You worked? Oh, I thought you were at a bank.
No, I was an accountant in the hospital.
It's even worse. So, when you hear these stories, it can be you. You know that, right?
Yes,
That's
absolutely.
what the young lad just said. It can be you. You just got to do it. So now we're always over $1 million.
That's correct. Yes.
What did we do last year?
1 million.
Round the button?
You right, $1,000 more.
We did $1 million over 1,000. Yeah. Okay, so starting with you, something that you're doing that's working.
Yeah, so this year, one of the number one thing is following up on my database. I think more than ever before, in the past, they came to you last 2-3 years when the market was crazy, they called you. Now you have to reach out to them. That's the number one thing that I'm doing, focus on my database. And it's very simple. I follow the simple system, 111, 111, 111. Every quarter, when that is done, just like Rob was saying, down the cliff. So by chance you miss out something, you have the week, catch up on your database. So I make it a point to call my database, be in touch with them, and also it's not a long call. I have those long calls when I'm driving, but a quick question, straight to the point, do you have business for me? Or tell them what your story is, tell it, and quickly ask for business. Be in touch with your database, the most important thing that I do right now.
Beautiful. Young lad, so you had mentioned that when you're gaming, you just, even though it's hard, you don't give up. Can you expand on that a bit, please? Talk to the microphone.
I don't give up. I grow up. I have that one problem. I don't stop doing it until I do. That's my life choices.
Okay. Just give a hand. Okay, you might think that he knew he was coming up here, and he prepared all this. But I asked him to dad on the break and said, I said that Jared's not here, so can you come up? Yeah, that'd be awesome. It's like he worked on this stuff last night. I don't give up. I grow up. I'm going to put that in my material. That's I should write that book. Don't give up. Grow up. Wow. Something new.
So our teams here are from EXP and our partners, and you know what, when we're meeting new agents, they always want to tell us about this new thing that they're going to do, this brand new strategy is going to blow their business out of the water. But like Oswald said, keep it simple, get back to the basics, do the database, the non-sexy stuff. And that's what I love about Rob, because he keeps it simple. And for women especially, we can overthink, get overwhelmed, and just do too many things. And when you keep it simple, that's when the results happen. It's just a snowball effect. So this is why we actually love our business, we love our database, we love them. We have so much fun in business because we just keep it simple. We don't overthink it.
So you realize you said.
What you're saying is that when you think too hard, you forget of what you meant in your brain, of what you were going to do, or whatever you were going to do. So think smarter, not harder, otherwise.
But what Jasmine's saying is there's a lot of energy in her team and apparently family. And so, talking with her team, I was at the beginning of the year for 2 calls in a row. We had talked about the database right out of the gate, right? So let's get this right. We need to get this right. We got to talk to these people, like market updates, all the other stuff falls in place with your database. And we spent two weeks talking about just the database before we move on to it. Because if any realtor in the world, that if you don't call your database every 90 days and give them a market update, you're just going to scramble for business every year. You might scramble to big production, but you're still scrambling. But if you call your database every 90 days and give a market update like you teach, your things are going to fall into place, you get lots of time off, you get your life back and be more profitable. Seeing as the microphone, what's the second thing? Something else you're doing.
Morning routine. So like what you listen to, how you start your day matters. And in our group, we have like a fitness challenge. We start our morning working out, we share our progress, and just getting your mindset right, what you listen to. We have a book club that we're listening to certain books, and all of Rob's books. My girlfriend and partner, that's why I just bought all 6, so we encourage you to do that too. So it's how you start your day, what you are listening to, what you're taking in is going to be super powerful, because your mindset with this market and agents leaving and being scared of what's happening on the news and all these other negative stuff, just tune it out and focus on what your goals are, because no matter what's happening in the market, people still need to buy and they still need to sell. Doesn't matter.
Beautiful. That's what the little guy has to say. He's got something else to say.
So basically,
I don't really think I get a question. So basically,
what my mom meant by goals, like when you try to finish something or what you want to do later in life. And just like what older people say, you cannot give up. Always keep trying.
So the second thing I'm doing very diligently.
Wait, Oswald, you got to match him. Do your best. Can you look I need you to tell your point and look as cute as him. Do your best.
So the second thing that I'm really diligently doing is I don't want to lose a lead. Nowadays it's very easy difficult to get leads, right? Last year was different. This year is a very good, interesting year. So we got to keep up with our leads. And when you call your leads, you're always going to get this question. Oh, interest rates are high. It's not worth buying now. Should I wait? Repeat, approve, build a bridge. Use that all the time. That's what Rob teaches us. Sorry, when I said that, some of you all don't know, but it's teaching of Rob's. Just follow that. Repeat, approve, build a bridge. I'm sure it's going to teach you sometime later today. I use that. And you got to be ready with those answers. You got to be able, because everybody's going to tell you, oh, the market is going to, because media is telling, it's going to come down. Everything's going to be bad. But when you have repeat, approve, build a bridge, and tell them, look here, I'll give you an example. Say you bought a house in February last year. Interest was 2%. Now it's 5%. But the house has come down 600,000. You're paying way less. Right? Your monthly payment is what is important. Right? and it's going to go up from here to above, that's going to be your asset. So tell them that. Repeat, build that say, here's my bridge to you. It's better to buy now than in February. You are trying to buy in February, that's better. If you want to be wealthy, buy now. Convince them and you will be successful.
All right, how you go clapping. Go big or go home. Do it again. Hey, always big, yes. You know, I remember we were doing a seminar one time. I don't remember where it was, but the group was, I don't know, low-key, which doesn't work for me. And there was another seminar going on, and they were accountants, and they were louder than us. And I told the group, the accountants are louder than us. And that's what I had to tell them for to get out and just make some noise. They had to come tell us to calm down. I said, no, we're not doing it. We'll leave it at 4, don't worry about it. But we were being out-noised by accountants. So when you clap today, clap, yes? Okay, young man. Any last thoughts?
My last part, I said a wrong word. So basically, in a goal and when you're trying to do something hard, you never try to give up. Don't stop. Always keep on trying. You can do it. All you just need is a little confidence.
I can see there's a theme of not giving up. I guess that's the conversation in the house. It would be in your house, wouldn't it? It would be that's what he's hearing.
Any other ideas?
So just an FYI here for realtors. So obviously your children are picking up what you're talking about, yes? And so I remember I was at a function and lots of kids were there with their realtor parents. It was that sort of thing. And I was talking to a young kid, he's probably 8 or 9. And I said, so, you know, how do you like being the son of a realtor? And he said, oh, my dad drives around with people all day long in his car who lie to him. And other realtors, they're all idiots. Now you think about that. What is that realtor saying at the dinner table? Now think about I'm not telling you a joke right now. What is that realtor saying about the business at the dinner table? You know, about complaining about the job and other realtors and that in little minds. Well, clearly in this household, apparently it's about never giving up. Really, that's the key.
Okay, so last note, thank you so much for having us, Rob. This is the first time CEO Cartier is on stage, so thank you guys so much. This is awesome. This is like such an amazing moment to be here. And on last note, I would say, you know, New Agent Bootcamp is mandatory for all of my team members and our EXP partners because it organizes your business. You know, it's hard to like organize your day, your buyer presentation, listing presentation. When you're starting this business, you don't know how to compare and how to do it. So this is a good, you know, to position yourself and organize your real estate business because everything we learned in school has nothing to do with our day-to-day, as we all know, right? So do at least the New Agent Bootcamp if you can do that. Carissa's amazing. She is like the next version of Rob. Like her manners and everything is Rob Vivian. And I was just telling our team I want us to do scripts and dialogues again, just to get the mindset right and the conversations right. Thank you, Rob. And then if you can get into coaching, do it. Like it's not an expense, it's an investment. So thank you, Rob. Thank you for the many years of work.
So, what if when we met all those years ago, what if you didn't decide to go down the path you went? You ever think about that?
Yes, of course. And then you know what? I see agents every year trying to reinvent their business and just have new ideas. And it's just like, get a coach, get things organized. Real estate, it is mandatory and you want to be in the right community, the right tribe. You want to have the right coach. And he's Canadian. We're Canadian. You don't want to hire an American coach it's a different language to our clients. It's totally different. You need to have a Canadian coach that can help you in a Canadian market. So I'm super happy that I hired you, work with you, and you know Rob's family, and every morning he hears something awesome is going to happen today 3 times.
Awesome. Now to Oscar. Some advice before we take questions.
Yes. So my advice is be a consultant, right? Not a salesperson. A salesperson can be replaced. A consultant cannot be replaced. That's why Rob's Monday calls are so important, because he gives a prediction. Like you heard him today so many times telling what the market is going to be. That's correct. He's been 100% accurate. So be a consultant, get your knowledge, so that Monday call, it's all about mindset. You've got to have an amazing mindset. Once you have that mindset, guys, it's unstoppable, right? Nobody can stop you once you're in that frame of mind, and just keep going. So be a consultant, be ready, answer your calls, like answer the questions, like, and be on top of your game. If you're on top of your game, listen to the Monday calls. He gives you the whole week what's going to happen. Just repeat that. So it's simple. Keep it simple. Be a consultant. Do what you have to do. Again, guys, I'll tell you, I spent $500 advertising last year. And that was because a client asked for a sponsorship. My investment is with Rob. I spend on the coaching. Mike is my coach. Fantastic guy. He holds me accountable. He makes sure that I do what I'm supposed to do. All the best at least have a coach. Why can't we have a coach? And you know, I have been with Rob for, 10 years now. I still have him because he holds me accountable. And that's the best thing, best investment I did. And I'll be there all the way till the grave. He will be my coach.
Great job. Any questions? Yes.
So your second point was that you don't want to lose leads and you don't want to lose clients, correct?
So I didn't say don't want to lose leads. I make sure to follow up on our leads.
Wait, you didn't ask the question.
But you know, let's say you lose clients. What's your strategy?
Oh, forget it. That's okay. There's some more.
Okay, so you can't over there hear the question. So the question was, what if you lose leads? What do you do then?
It's obvious you're going to lose.
That is going to happen. 3 out of 4.
Clients, not leads. Let's say clients.
Oh, you mean like with someone in your database?
Your database.
Okay, hold on. Can I answer that? Yeah, so what's going to happen here is over time, you're going to get people that used to be with another realtor. Because they met you, they liked you. They start playing hockey with you or soccer or whatever, and you become friends. They're with you now. They migrate around, right? So my career, or their careers, everybody's, I get a bunch of new people that used to be with someone else. And then, or my client's kid marries this girl and her mom's a realtor. Oh, they're gone for me now. But they'll move around, but that's not very many. Like if maybe 5% of your database. Don't worry about that.
Just keep building the database, baby.
That's right.
I could have just said that.
But again, that's why
Oh, yeah, it's not going to bother you. Move along.
No, move along. And I said, be a consultant. If you can give them help, advice, proper advice, they're going to stay with you. But some will move on. That's okay. Bye-bye.
Let me ask you guys some question. What do you think the most common thing our coaches say to the coaching clients? Do you think it's call your database, get up early, work your Mark Central? You know what the most common thing the coaches say to the clients? Less thinking and more doing will be helpful here. Seriously, stop thinking so much. Less thinking, more doing is clearly the most common thing they say. Questions? Yes.
How do you, either one of you, how do you set your targets for a year? And do you stagger them? And if you're not able to accomplish them, how do you cope up with that? So that
You're going to ask 3 questions. So I'll both of them answer, okay? So the question is, how do you set your goals? When you said you stagger, you mean like one quarter bigger than the other one? And then if you're off, what do you do?
Yeah.
Okay, so how do you set your goals? Do you stagger them? We prefer even. And then if you don't get there, what do you do?
So yes, of course it's even. But here's a good thing. Your 4th quarter is one of the best quarters because half the realtors, after Halloween, they are done. They're not working. We are working, baby. That's the time to make money.
What, so 4th quarter? 4th quarter. What's that one called?
Setting up the
It's called the
push. Sorry.
Push.
Yeah, the push.
Push to this day.
Yeah, push. And Rob has this fantastic prospecting challenge. Get onto that, prospect, and get your 4th quarter right. If you do the 4th quarter right, your next year is going to be a very successful year as well. So for me, it's
have you set, because the other part of that question was, what if you don't hit it, right? Have you ever set, yeah.
If you do it, you do your basics, you're going to hit your goal.
He hasn't had that one yet. Sorry, Justin? So how do you decide what your goal's going to be? Are they even or staggered, and what if you don't get it?
So our goals we set as a team before the year is over, and it's even. And if we're behind on our goals, we just amp up the work. We just amp up the calls. We get into the database. We get back to the basics. So anytime maybe we're focused too much on social or events or something, we just get back to the basics to amp up our goals, and that's our focus this year.
So would both of you say that at the end of the year, you did your job, all the dust settles, it is what it is. That's it.
That's it.
That's
Let's go.
Yeah.
Yep.
Questions? Yes. That's a great question. So the question was, because we're not really doing structure today, we're doing more psychology today, especially the second half of today. So the question was, what are the 3 pillars? Because most people, that is our structure, right? I have no hands up.
Yeah.
So what are your 3 main sources?
So when we assessed our business, we did an audit, a business review. My 3 pillars are database for one, agent referrals, and social media. Those are our top 3 pillars.
And then what about yours?
Of course, database number 1, open houses, Facebooks.
Yeah, well, FISBO's been my favorite. I worked my database, geographical farming, and FISBOs. They're so crazy. It's so much fun. Like, they're so insane that it's so much fun, yes? Yeah, so it's just that it's, like, the interacting with them is, for me, was just, where most realtors are nervous to call them, I have so much fun with them. I call them and they say, oh, well, we hate realtors. And I say, I hate most of them too. I mean, think about your business. What is more annoying to you, the public or other realtors? So when they say, we hate realtors, you're like, I totally get that. But don't talk like that at the kitchen table, or the dinner table, because young minds are listening, yes? Talk about never giving up. That's a better topic at the dinner table. So, did we cover this one? Did you both cover it? Okay. Questions? Yes? Wait! Is your question going to be as long as your answers?
It's for Jasmine, like say, when you're saying about team, so what kind of a consistency or what kind of a composition you have in the team, and how you structure up yourself from $500,000 to $1 million?
Okay, so I'll just repeat the question. So, the question is about teams. Remember when we first started working, we had a bigger team. We pared it down to way more efficient. Most people have too big of a team. So the question was, for those in here, is your team, how you structure it, and then how do you go from $500,000 to $1 million, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's a longer, answer, but in short, having a team, one of the first things you should do is just delegate the repetitive tasks, like all the administrative stuff. So I was just talking to another agent, Mr. Silva, and we're talking about, you need an admin, to the stuff that you don't want to do, anything that you don't want to do. I was talking to Maria about this too. All your paperwork, hand it off to your assistant, hire somebody, start delegating. That is how I grew my business. I would say when I made my first 6 figures my first year, I worked the hardest. That year, I remember it. That was like the grind, the grit. I worked the hardest that year, and I've always been over 6 figures, but now I work less and I make more, and that's because I'm now delegating. My true passion now and joy at this point in my business in 19 years of being real estate is I love seeing my team members like hitting 6 figures and doing deals, and I'm here to high-five them now, so that is my joy, and I'm helping other people build a life of their dreams. Like Rixie was just in the Philippines for a month. Chris just went to Mexico twice in 1 month, and this is who I get to work with and party and have fun with. And our partners are here too. We're here to just pour into them, and as I pour into them, they're also pouring into me, and we're all elevating our business. So that's how my tribe has really helped me to take it to the next level as well. But the teams, I'll definitely tell more about that, but it's who you surround yourself with. So coaching, your community, your partners, your team, your tribe, pick them wisely. Rob, we talk about picking your partner wisely too. That was another. That was another one.
We did have that conversation, yes. So, it's efficient. Okay, easy there. We'll let you say a final thought this time. So think about what's the final thing you'd say. Not yet, but in a minute. Just think about it for now, okay? Not yet. You know what not yet means? Not yet. Oh, you do know what it means, okay. Okay, so questions? Yes?
Yeah.
Hold on. Okay, go ahead.
Can I ask you
Okay.
a question?
Yeah, you then you're next, okay? Go ahead. Yep.
Yeah, so question is what advertisement strategy you follow yourself to advertise what's like the strategy you follow? That's the question.
Strategy for what?
For advertisement for yourself to advertise to other.
Oh, to promote yourself.
Yeah, promote yourself.
Strategy, promote. I'm not sure you guys do that.
Well, no, so when you work with your database, it's the most cost efficient one, and you're talking to people that know you, like you, trust you, and it's more fun, and you're connecting with people that know you. So I rather spend money on people that know me, like me, trust me. I spend money on events. I do gifts and stuff for thank you gifts for our clients and stuff like that, but I don't do any like advertising or lead gen like that. It's database mainly.
Do you do any? I don't think you do you? No. So no.
Thank you.
Question here?
Yeah. This question is to you.
To who? To who? To me. Yeah. I'm not really on the panel.
This is about to control your emotion. You guys do law of attraction. You said we all should be disappointed unless outraged. Now, this is what I'm going with myself. So the problem is the way things are out there, whether it's in the road, and we are always on the road, the way people are driving, the way the service industry in Canada, especially Toronto, going. I noticed like a frustration comes out. I was just for 2 weeks in the States. I see everything.
Is there a question here?
Yes.
So what is it?
My question is how you handle when you see so much.
Okay, hold on. Let me ask this. You're driving somewhere and you think 3 people are an idiot, it's probably you. For starters. If you think 3 people in other cars on your way somewhere are an idiot, you got a problem in your brain today. For starters. Okay? And all I was saying on that thing we were talking about is in the last couple of years, you all know we've normalized the word outrage. And that's not a good thing. And so you should never be in that state of mind. It's harmful to you. Spend way more time being a little ticked off and whatever people, but as far as just in general in life, if you find yourself constantly upset with people, you know, when you point, it's 1 finger out and 3 fingers back. And it's not like God or something, I don't know, something like that. So I don't know if that answers your question or not, but that's the answer. Questions? Yes?
For all of you.
Hey, are you even like the guy that's pointing out the questions things? I didn't like that.
We need another mic so I can run away.
I see your help. I didn't know you were doing that. But that's good. Thank you. I'll just repeat it. No, it's okay.
I have a question you guys don't know.
Okay. All right. He's working for us now.
What does a day in your life look like? What do you do from start to the end?
Okay. So quickly, go down to Oslo first. Just tell us quickly about your day. So what do you want to get out for lunch here?
Okay, so I have 3 little kids, so my days I don't work out. Okay, I don't do that. One thing that I don't listen to Rob. Sorry. Everything else I listen. So my day starts with my kids. So I get up in the morning, get the kids all dressed up, I make lunch for them, drop them at school. I always drop them, pick them up. Never will I forego that. I go to all kids events. Okay, so I start with that. 8:30 I'm back at my desk. Start getting ready, getting mentally. 9 o'clock, I've been making my calls. 9 to 11, call. Nothing will stop me from that. I do my prospecting 9 to 11. After that, everything else starts. Then appointments. And by 2:30, I'm back in school, pick up my kids. 3:30, I come back. And I drive a lot, guys. Yeah, the day before yesterday, I was in the morning at Niagara on the Lake, evening was Saga Beach. But that's the time I do my calls. I call. So when I'm driving from Niagara to Wasaga Beach, hey, that's fantastic 2 hours. I use that time to call.
Okay. Jasmine, tell us quickly about your day.
Okay, morning routine, it's not perfect every day, so don't beat yourself up about it. I wake up at like 6:37, I have time for myself. And then he likes to wake up super early as well, so then I get him started, I get my workout in, I'm doing rebounding right now, so it's like jumping on a trampoline, so I'm having so much fun with that. And then I get ready, I get in the office, and I meet my team on Google Meets, and we do calling together from 9 to 11. 8:30, we do a catch-up, what's happening, what's on the go, any client stories or anything like that, and then from 9 to 11, we meet on Google Meets, we do our calls, and then after that is we're all reactive. Emails, calendar, I have like Calendly calls booked, everything else is after reactive, but proactive, 9 to 11, that's our money time.
So basically, you get the morning right, so by the time you get to noon, the water's going over the waterfall, and now you have a good day.
100%.
Did you have a question, young man? Last question?
Yeah, I would love to hear story from each of you guys around working one of your lead sources. Something that almost got lost but surprised you.
That's going to take way too long.
Yeah. We're trying to go to lunch here. But that's like a session. You need to ask that first. Okay, so young man, any last thoughts?
Well, what my mom meant by don't have too many customers. So when you were a kid, you might have felt like more customers was best to make more money, but it's actually not true. Reason why? Because you're going to have to lose more money, since you're going to have to pay them. So, yes. So like,
right.
you don't need too many customers.
Big hand.
So I know it doesn't seem like we're on track today, but we kind of are. Normally, you know when you go to seminars and the person just won't stop talking, you run over, or a live stream when the person won't start talking, run over? I never do that. In fact, all of our sessions that are 9 to 4, we're usually out at like 3:15. Get out of school early. We'll be out at 3:15 today, but we also will not be late. Okay, so in this session here, we're going to have another panel in a bit. And they're going to tell you the same 3 things, what they're doing this year that's working, and ask some questions. But I want to teach you a skill to help you communicate better with buyers and sellers. And it's called, you might want to write this down, the law of reciprocation. The law of reciprocation. Just the way it sounds, reciprocation. The law of reciprocation. So let me tell you what this principle is about, and then how would you, as a realtor, leverage it in talking with buyers and sellers. So the law of reciprocation, the word reciprocation means to reciprocate, to do the same back. So that would mean, I'm going to write this next thing down first, so it'll make more sense what I'm about to say. I'm going to give you a phrase that a psychologist would say. So when I'm teaching psychology like this, I don't learn it and then change it and make it mine, give it new words. I just give it to you the way a psychologist would explain it. I'm not interested in making it my own material. And it's not uncommon for our clients to go take a class on psychology or something and say, hey, that Rob teaches that, because I'm using the same phrases. So as far as the law of reciprocation is concerned, a psychologist would say this way: people are bound to reciprocate. So write that down, please. People are bound to reciprocate. And when I think about that, it always strikes me a little bit, because the word bound is a very strong word. Bound, it's a strong word. So that means if you do something to somebody or something, they're bound to reciprocate back. And once you understand that, you can start leveraging that and being a better, more skilled communicator, not to manipulate the seller to list with you over somebody else, or the buyer to buy for you for somebody else, or get this offer accepted for your benefit. Not that. But I think that you folks would all agree that you are a hardworking, honest realtor with lots of integrity, yes? Wow. No, it wasn't that. It was the way a whole bunch of you went. Like all 3 of those. Hardworking, and you are that person, yes? Yes. Okay, so I agree. And so when you use these techniques to go into their brain and draw them to you, then they're working with you, and they are safe with you. Do you think all of the realtors are honest people? Do all of the realtors treat their clients right? No. Do a lot of realtors make decisions based on their own income? Yes. Okay, so if you know the techniques to get the next seller to list with you, the next buyer to buy from you, to get this offer accepted, they get to be with you, yes? Yes. Which means they're safe. Yes. They are safe with you. They're not safe with everybody. You should be motivated by that. So when I'm teaching these techniques, because sometimes realtors come up to me and say things like, hey, could I use this to manipulate somebody? Yes, but I think you're not catching the spirit of what I'm teaching here. You might be missing that. It's another company. So if people, according to psychology, are bound to reciprocate, that means this. Have you ever been on a listing and they asked you if you cut the commission? Yes. Has that ever happened to anybody? Yes. All right, so yes. So that means this. If they said to you, the other realtor's charging 1%, would you match it? That's the objective. Not ask for your answer. Just take it in. Take it in. Take it in. Yeah. Take it in. Take it in. So you're up there, and they say the other realtor's charging 1%. Would you match it? The right answer is not no. But anyways, if you did this, if you went right to your objection handler, and you said, oh, well, let me tell you what makes me concerned about that. And then whatever your objection handler is. That would mean that your objection handler is now going to be a rebuttal, yes? You're about to point out to them why they're wrong. You're about to point out to them why they could be making a mistake. You guys see that? And if they are bound to reciprocate, you just pointed out the mistake they're about to make. Yes or no? Yes. And they are bound to reciprocate. So if they say the other realtor charge 1%, would you match it? You say, let me tell you the problem that could cause for you. The other realtor gives their money away like that. They're going to give your money away. Whatever objection handler you have, your objection handler is a rebuttal. Do you get that? Yes. And they are bound to reciprocate. So you rebut them, you shoot them down, and if they're bound to reciprocate, what do they do back? Shoot you down. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Then you take it at 3.5. We both know what's going to happen here. What if you could just do it this way? If you understand how the law of reciprocation works, why not leverage that? Why not, when they say the other realtor's charging 1%, before you say your clever objection handler, why don't you take them through a little process called repeat, approve, and build a bridge, which Oswald mentioned. And that's what we teach. So in regard to handling objections, we don't want our coaching clients to ever practice their objection handlers. We don't teach to do that. Because if you practice your objection handlers, you'll only throw them back faster in a rebuttal format. Do you understand that? And by the way, how many are there? Think about it. Cut the commission. We have a friend in the business. We want to price it high. We want to wait. What else is there?
9 most common objections.
There's a handful, yes or no? It can't be difficult to figure out 9 clever things to say for the rest of your real estate career. Why would you practice them? What you need to practice is this piece in the middle, which I'll explain, that would put their brain in a state that it wants to agree with you versus wants to rebut you back because you just rebutted them. You guys understand that? So write down repeat, approve, and build a bridge. This is a technique that's not mine. I could have called it something else and made it mine, I guess. We don't do that. So, but it's not uncommon for clients to be at a communication seminar and take a picture of the screen or the board and say, hey, repeat, approve, build a bridge. In fact, the TREB had their meeting a couple weeks ago, yes? And one of the instructors there was teaching this and even said, hey, Rob Vivian teaches this a lot. Gave me a shout out for it. Like, this is Rob Vivian's material. It's not. It's communication. So if the seller says to you, would you do the commission at 1% because the other realtor's doing 1%? Now, you already have the clever thing to say, yes? Over there. Yes. But you can't go to it right now. Because if you do, you are pointing out why they're about to make a mistake. or you are shooting them down, or you are rebutting them, and they are bound to reciprocate. So first, you'd say, repeat. Okay, so the other realtor's charging 1%, is that correct? When you do that, their subconscious mind says to them, this is somebody you can talk to. This is somebody who's listening to you. Just think about someone that's interviewing 3 realtors. If none of them have the skills that we're talking about today, and they have to move, they're going to have to choose the lesser of 3 evils, yes? So let's just say they want to price it high. I don't know, like $1 million when it's worth 800. So they say to the first realtor, we'd like to price it at $1 million. And they go right to their objection. Well, $1 million, that's the 4-bedroom. That's no one's ever done. It's a rebuttal, yes or no? And then they see the third realtor, a second realtor, we'd like to price at $1 million. Well, $1 million, that's way too much. That's the 4-bedroom that. And then they see the third realtor who's skilled, and they say, we'd like to price at $1 million. Okay. So you want to price at $1 million, is that correct? Finally. That's what their subconscious mind says. Finally, somebody we can talk to, somebody with skill, yes? That's the repeat. Then the approval is giving them approval. Because you think about it. The objections that we get are just people trying to get as much as they can for their properties, yes? I mean, if you were moving, would you want to get as much money as you can, yes or no? Yes. You ever try selling a realtor's house? One of our clients sent me over a realtor's house. That's a realtor listing. Yeah, we're holding offers till March 15th. And that was a week ago. Can you imagine if you went on a listing and then you wanted to hold offers for a month? That's a realtor, yes? So if somebody wants to price it high, what would their motive be? Their motive would be to get more money, yes or no? If they asked you to cut the commission, what would their motive be? To make more money, yes? If you had a buyer that's making an offer on a property that's $800 and that's a good price, you want to offer $700 or $750, way too low. Why would they do that? To try to save some. So if you really look at the objections you get, most of them are just people trying to do the best they can for themselves, yes or no? Do you guys and gals agree with me that when people are doing some real estate, they're buying, they're selling, they're buying and selling, they should try to look after their money, yes or no? Yes. So that would mean the objections you get, the objection's wrong, but the motive is correct. Do you see that? So if the value is 800, they want to try $1 million, the $1 million is not correct, but the motive is correct. You see that? And if the buyer wants to make the low offer is not correct, but the motive is correct. Yes? The 3.5 is not correct. Please say yes to that. Yes. But their motive is correct. You guys see that? So after you repeat what they say, by the way, that is music to their ears when you do that. And then you say this. Note when I share this with you, I'm not talking about the 3.5 or the 1 million or the low offer. Because see, in their brain where the law of reciprocation resides, if you are faking it, it's not going to go for it. You can fool them on the outside, but not on the inside where the law of reciprocation resides. Do you understand? What I want to do is activate the law of reciprocation. Because if I agree with them, and they're bound to reciprocate, what do they need to do back? Agree. What a great state of mind for them to be in while I'm telling them why they should pay 5, yes? Speaking to a brain that actually has a strong desire to actually agree with you. Yes? So, but if you fake it, if you say, yeah, I know, I understand that, when you're moving, you want to get a lot, and, other people charge 3.5, and I get that. I am pretending to agree right now, right? See, their subconscious mind will not be fooled. So you must be sincere when you deliver the approval, otherwise you won't activate the law of reciprocation. And we all agree that everybody that's moving should try to get as much as they can, yes? So therefore their motive is correct, yes or no? So stick with the motive then. So it would sound like this. Okay, so the other realtor's charging 1, you wonder if I'll match it, is that correct? Oh, yes. Let's repeat, approved. I know when you're moving, you're trying to get as much as you can for your property, I get that. I'm not moving myself right now, but I can assure you if I was moving, I would try to get as much as I could for my property. I have no issue with that. That's sincere, yes? As soon as I did that, I now activated the law of reciprocation in their brain. They are now bound to reciprocate, and I just agreed, so what do they have to do back? All I gotta do now is get over to my objection hammer, yes? which is what the bridge is. So the bridge is, okay, can I share something with you? And boom, I pop over here. By the way, this repeat, approve, build a bridge, driven by the law of reciprocation, is 20 seconds. I know you have a clever thing you want to say. Don't be unskilled. Just repeat, approve, build a bridge, put their brain in a state. So when I say, okay, so the other realtor is charging 1%, is that correct? And then their brain goes, finally, someone I can talk to. I know that when you're moving, you're trying to get as much as you can for your property. I get that. I'm not moving myself right now. But if I was, I can assure you I would have a very keen desire to get as much as I could for my property. Sincerely. I approve the motive, yes? Now, the law of reciprocation is now active. All I gotta do now is go over, do you mind if I share something with you? And they say, yes. But when they say yes, their mouth, what their brain says is, yes, please, quickly, tell me something that I can agree with. Think about that. Now, when I say the proper words, I'm now speaking to a brain that has a strong desire to agree back with me because of my agreeing with them. You guys are clear on this? It leverages the law of reciprocation. Now when I say, hey, let me tell you what makes me a bit concerned about that. You know, the other realtor that gave their money away so quickly, are you looking for a realtor that's going to fight tooth and nail for every nickel of your equity? And they go, yeah, okay. Well, it's not that person, obviously. They gave their money away pretty quickly. I'll fight tooth and nail for every nickel of your equity. And because you did this correctly, and their brain is in a state that it wants to agree with you, when they say, okay, I'll pay 5, don't say, really? I'm not going to lie, I don't see that coming. Because I get these calls all the time from our clients who are new to us, and we teach them this. This is how powerful. Again, psychologists, what is the word they use about the law of reciprocation? People are bound. And so that's a magical thing, yes? It's in everything. I remember Krista when she was 15. It's like how you communicate. It's like, listen, I'll go to the 15-year-old story in a second. It's how to get people to do what you want them to do, yes? Because they're safer with you. Who's single in the room? Pay attention. Pay attention to what I'm talking about right now. It's for everything. So Krista, I remember one night, she's 15. She's not 15 anymore. Anyways, she said, hey, I'm going to Gloria's house, and I'll be back about midnight. Okay, so you're going to Gloria's house, and you're back about midnight. Is that correct? She goes, yes. Don't actually do this. Listen, thanks for letting me know that. One of the things I really appreciate about you is you always let me know what you're doing, and then I don't have to worry about you, because a lot of dads have to worry, so I appreciate that. Just, oh, thanks, Dad. Can I share something with you? Sure, what's that? 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock is the right time. Now, when I say that, I'm now speaking to a brain that wants to agree back, yes? Okay, you're right, midnight was late. That's it. Or, I could do it this way. I'm going to go to Gloria's house, and I'll be back at midnight. Midnight, 10 o'clock, young lady. As long as I'm on my roof, my roof. You can do that. You can do that. But if you understand how to communicate correctly and to take a 20-second step, repeat, approve, build a bridge, put their brain in a state that it wants to agree back, why wouldn't you do that, yes? And then so much more power here, right? So the law of reciprocation, one of the ways we can use it is in handling objections. Just that same process I just gave you. Another way, write this down, please. Write down, in regard to booking appointments. In regard to booking appointments. So I've been saying to a lot of folks on the breaks and stuff that there is a lot of things that we think sound correct. Like, to me, that sounds right. But they're not. They subconsciously push them away. So for example, if you have a sign call and they say they're going to be moving and you want to book an appointment, yes? And so if you said something like this, well, if you're thinking of moving, I would be happy to prepare a comparative market analysis. And by the way, on this, we acronym the public way too much. They don't know what the acronyms mean, by the way. But they don't want to look stupid, so like, okay. So realtors say, we're going to sign the BRA. And the person's like, okay, you want to sign my bra? Weird, but okay. I don't know how real estate works this day and age, but we're talking about TREB, CMA, and so on. They don't know what you're talking about. You understand that, right? We should acronym each other's. But we shouldn't acronym the public, do you understand? So you could say this. So you got someone that's thinking of moving, sign call, whatever, and you want to book an appointment. You could say this. Okay, if you're thinking of moving, I could prepare a comparative market analysis for you. I could come over and sit down with you folks and spend as much time as necessary to help you guys make a great decision. How does that sound? That is the wrong words. In fact, that can never work. In fact, because this, listen, because of the law of reciprocation, they don't know you, correct? So what you just told them was, they're on the phone with someone they don't know. And you just told them you're going to do work, you're going to come out of your way, you're going to sit down and spend time, yes? But as soon as you do that, I can prepare a comparative market analysis, I can come over with you, sit down with you, and spend as much time as necessary to help make a good decision. That would immediately activate the law of reciprocation in their subconscious mind, and their subconscious mind would say this: if you let that realtor that you don't know do all that work for you, you'll be obligated to them. So they wouldn't say back to you, I can't say yes to this disappointment because the law of reciprocation just got activated in my subconscious mind, and if I have you do that work for me over, I'm going to be obligated to you. They're not going to say that. You know what they are going to say? No, I just want to know the price. No, just want to know the price. That's why you get that so much, yes? I can't talk right now. I gotta speak to my husband. I gotta speak to my wife. I can't talk right now. They would back up, yes? Because see, if you're able to book an appointment, you would prepare a comparative market analysis, yes? You would go over there, and you would sit down and you spend all the necessary time, yes or no? You just can't tell them that because of the law of reciprocation. Because as soon as you do that, the subconscious mind would immediately say to them, if you let that person you don't know do all that work for you, you'll be obligated to them. You would be required to reciprocate. You'd be bound to. So they would say no. Yes or no, people? So when I said that, a lot of you went, that sounds great, but it has no chance of working. What we need to do is book it and not activate the law of reciprocation, yes? So the fact that you're willing to do a comparative market analysis, go over there, spend your time, sit down and spend whatever time necessary, it's a good quality. You could actually do your part. But you gotta keep it from them because of the law of reciprocation, you understand? You gotta pretend that's not happening to keep it dormant. So write this down. Pretend I'm already going to be in the neighborhood. Pretend I'm going to already be in the neighborhood. So this little script I'm going to give you, this dialogue, I'm going to say I've used this. I know I sold more than 1,600 homes when I was selling, 5,000 times to get appointments. So it sounds like this. So when it comes time to booking an appointment, now your friends that come list me's none of this matters. You know that, right? This is for ones you're trying to get above and beyond become list me's. So I would have a chance to book an appointment. So I know that I'm going to prepare a comparative market analysis. I'm going to go over there. I'm going to sit down and spend whatever time necessary. But I can't say that because of the law of reciprocation. I have to pretend I'm already going to be in the neighborhood. You guys understand that? Because then they think, if he's already going to be here, we should let him in. It's so it sounds like this. Even though what's going to take place is what we just discussed. Hey, so if you guys are thinking of moving, as it turns out, I'm going to be in your neighborhood Thursday night, wrapping up at 8 o'clock. I'll be back there Saturday morning, wrapping up about noontime. Seeing as I'll be in the neighborhood anyways, I don't mind popping and answering any questions. Then their subconscious mind goes, that's awesome, let him in. Let me tell you how powerful those words are. It's possible that they're not available Thursday night or Saturday morning, right? But because the way I delivered those words, and kept the law of reciprocation dormant, it's the opposite. He's going to be here, let him in. She's going to be here, let her in. It's so powerful that if they can't do it, they will give you an alternate. They want to let you in so badly when you say that, but if they can't do it, they say, yeah, we're not available Thursday night or Saturday morning. Is there any way you can do Sunday afternoon? They will give you an alternate because they want to say yes. So what are you going to do when you get a chance to book an appointment? I think sometimes we think that because there's 70,000 realtors on the Toronto Real Estate Board, that we get a chance to get to prove how hard we work, yes? All you're doing is make it harder for them. That's all you're doing. It's making it harder for them to say yes. Because if you're telling them all the work you're going to do, their subconscious mind's going to say, if you let that person do all that work for you, you're going to be bound to reciprocate. So you probably should say no to that. So wouldn't it be easier to say, as it turns out, I'm going to be in your neighborhood Thursday night wrapping up about 8 o'clock. I'll be back there Saturday morning wrapping up about noontime. Seeing as I'm going to be in the neighborhood anyways, I don't mind popping and answering questions. They go, okay, Saturday morning will be great. That's the way you do it. You got to keep the law of reciprocation. It's a very, very powerful thing. Now, if it's a condo, imagine saying this. Oh, well, if you guys are thinking of moving, I'm going to be in your building Thursday night wrapping up about 8. I'll be back there Saturday morning wrapping up about noon. I'll be in the building anyway. I don't mind getting off on your floor. Like, their subconscious mind screams at them, let them in, which is the opposite of no. Do you understand? So I think sometimes I really feel like we feel, because there's so many realtors, we have to prove ourselves. But the more you talk about how hard you're going to work for somebody, the harder it is for them to receive you, because of the law of reciprocation. Do you understand that? Trust me, when they hire you, they want that hard work. I'm talking about prior to them hiring you. If you talk about how hard you're going to work and everything you're going to do before they hire you, in trying to get into that appointment, you're just going to push them away from you. I know it sounds backwards, but that's the way the brain works. Because of the law of reciprocation, that they are, what's the word? Bound. Here's this next email. Another one. I'll give you another example of one before we do our next panel. And that is getting the BRA signed. I'm only acronyming because I'm with realtors. Do you understand? It's not signing anybody's bra today. My wife's here. No bra signing today. Well, we should, bro. No, we're not going to. Oh, I'm getting a look, and rightly so. Now. Okay, so let's talk honestly. I remember in 1996 when the BRA came in, the buyer's agreement. So I got licensed in '87, so I sold for almost a decade without it, and then it came in. I'm 100% on them since they came in, 100%. But the truth is, most realtors don't even try to get them signed. In fact, what you usually do is you try some awkward conversation with them. You know, like, oh, yeah, so we have to get the buyer's agreement signed. This is where, you know, we commit to each other. I commit to you, you commit to me. We're on team buying. And they say, I'm not signing it, you know. So then you just make fire sales. But you can't hand them into your office unless it's expired, so you find the BRA later. You know you all do that, yes? So, but rather than try to talk them into it, what if you could leverage the law of reciprocation and make them want to sign it? How good would that be? Think about that. Like I was doing a conference the other day, online one, and I always log in early. They never run on time, ever. But if I don't log into my time, because when it's online, you better be ready, because they don't know you're there. You better be ready when they say, next speaker is. And if I didn't log in early, you know that would be the time they were early, although that could possibly never happen. Anyways, I was hearing the speaker before me. And the speaker before me, whom you'd know, was talking about getting the buyer's agreement signed, which was not my topic. And what that person was talking about was 25 things to say to them to get the buyer's agreement signed. In other words, 25 things to prove your worth, yes? Yes or no, people? And when you're I'll do this, 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 I'll do this. You know that leads to concessions, right? I'll pay for this, I'll pay for this, I'll pay for this, I'll pay for this. So I'm listening to this person, and I'm thinking, whatever, it's not my topic anyways. But if you don't understand the law of reciprocation, that would be the logical way to do it. Yes? Wouldn't it be simpler if you crapped all, just crap all out of ways, get out of it, scrap it, and just leverage the law of reciprocation so their brain wants to sign it, yes? Wouldn't that be way easier? And when I show you this, you're going to think, oh man, that's totally what I want to say from now on. So here's the thing on the buyer's agreement. So if I'm 100%, this technique is 100%. I'm 100% on getting them signed here with this technique. But what I'm after is them behaving. Because if the buyers don't sign the buyer's agreement, they're going to misbehave a lot. But if they sign it, they're not going to misbehave hardly at all. So over my career, maybe 5 or 6 out of 800 buyer sales misbehave. To which me, I'm fine with that. I don't really care what you do with that, but for me, I'm not interested. I'm just you want to buy for somebody else? Whatever. I'm not pursuing it. I don't have time for that. I'm just moving on. For me personally, what you want to do is up to you. I want the buyer's agreement signed, not so I can enforce it, so they'll behave. Do you understand? Because if you don't get a sign, half of them are going to misbehave. But you sign it, 47 out of 50 will behave. You guys understand that? So if you get your buyer's agreement signed, your people will behave on a much, much, much higher level. That's what I'm after. So when I do a quick buyer meeting, I go over this, that, this, that, this. Then I just say this, so listen carefully, I'll explain through. It's very simple. There's no long drawn out, there's no, here's all the things I do to prove why you should be with me. I just leverage the law of reciprocation, knowing that it binds them, yes? Do you understand? So all I gotta do is give them something, yes? Yes? And so I do it this way. I don't know how you do it, but I have a quick buyer meeting, 5 minutes, 8 minutes, that's it. And some people say to me, well, I have like a 1 hour one. Well, you're already with you. We're supposed to the house? Like, you're not trying to, you're already with you, yes? What are you proving here? You have them already, they're with you. So I just go over what the lawyer does, the building inspection, I just go over a couple things in the buyer's agreement, and then I go show 3 homes, yes? I don't do the meeting some other day. It's the very beginning of the first time out from a time management point of view. So I just say, come to my office, we'll have a quick chat and go. Not come for a meeting. Don't choose words that are hard to say yes to. Come to the office, I'll meet you there, we'll have a quick chat. And they'll go. And I'm just gonna go a couple things, we go. See, come to the office, we'll have a quick chat. Is way easier to say, come to my office, we're gonna have a sit down meeting. Same thing's gonna happen. One's harder to say yes to, you guys get that? So they come to the office, quick chat, I go over a couple things, here's what the lawyer does, building inspection, buyer's, and all that kind of stuff. Then I get to the buyer's agreement, I say this. Now I'm gonna show you what I say, and I want you to watch for what I gave them, do you understand? Because what am I committed to? These 3, yes? What I'm not committed to is after that, would you agree? Now, some of you know me really well, some of you are meeting me for the first time. If they would not sign the buyer's agreement, do you think I would kick them out of the office and cancel those 3? No. Somebody's like, I don't know, you might. No, I would not. So, I'm committed to these 3, yes or no? So, if I'm committed to these 3, and I understand how the law of reciprocation works, why not leverage that, yes? So what I really need, I don't need a sign for now, because I already booked these 3 anyways. So listen to what I give them. Hey guys, the next item is the buyer's agreement. It's like a MLS agreement, listing agreement for buyers. I'm not gonna ask you to sign it today, I don't think that would be fair. Seeing as we're meeting for the first time. I just gave them something, yes? Do you see that? Well, and why would I care? I'm showing these 3 anyways. What I need is to sign later. So I'm not gonna ask you to sign it today, because I know we're meeting for the first time, I don't think that would be fair. I always discuss the buyer's agreement at the end of the quick meeting, because the longer they sit, they get a little edgy about it, yes? So when I say, I'm not gonna ask you to sign the buyer's agreement today, I don't think that would be fair, seeing as we're meeting for the first time. They don't do this. Holy cow! We've been stressing about that. They do that on the inside, though. They do that on the inside, not on the outside. And so we'll look at these 3. If we like one, we'll buy it, we'll sign it. And if not, I need you to bring it back next time, sign it. And then we gotta go show them. I don't need to sign today, I'm already committed to these 3. And because of the bound by the law of reciprocation, they 100% bring it back signed. I'm 100% 800 times. You guys understand that? That's how powerful the law of reciprocation is. So let me say it to you again, and watch how simple this is versus the trying to convince them why they should sign the buyer's agreement. Guys, the next item is the buyer's agreement. I'm not going to ask you to sign it today. I don't think that would be fair, seeing as we're meeting for the first time. In a few minutes, we'll go look at these 3 properties. If we like one of them, we'll make an offer on it. We'll sign the buyer's agreement. If not, I need you to bring the buyer's agreement back signed next time. Is that fair? They go 100% fair, and they bring it back signed 100% of the time. It's 100%. Now, are there people, buyers, that won't sign the buyer's agreement under any circumstances? They also wouldn't come for this meeting. So I'm not saying to you from 1996 to present, I'm 100% on every buyer signing it. Because if they won't sign it, they also will not come for this quick little meeting, you understand? We're all working with listing agents only, you understand? So, one sec, I'm not taking questions right now, what are you doing? So I have talked to many buyers over the years that wouldn't come for the meeting. You see, if I could show you a way, you know those buyers that 60 days after you meet them, you are sorry you met them? If you say, I wish I never met that person. Treat you with lack of respect, bought from somebody else, and wasted a lot of your time. Yes or no? Wouldn't it be great if you knew who that person was first day on the phone with them? Yeah, if they won't come for the meeting, that's that person. So I am not saying that I've got every buyer I talk to sign the buyer's agreement. But every buyer that came for this quick meeting signed the buyer's agreement, you understand? And the other one said, I'm not coming for a meeting, I just want to listen to agents only. I would just simply say to them, look, I know you guys are busy people. I don't want to waste your time. I don't think we're a match. Have an awesome day. And I will not think of them as long as I live, ever again. That's it. Because what they're really saying to me is, no, you don't understand. I'm that person that you're going to be sorry you met 60 days from now. That's who I am. I'm telling you that in advance. And from this day forward, if they will not come for a quick little get-together before you go out, they're telling you that. And if you take a flyer on them, that's on you. Because you should not, you understand? But if they do come for the quick meeting, they go over those properties, they will sign the buyer's agreement 100% of the time. That's how you can separate in the very beginning who's going to treat you badly and who's not, understand? So that's how you do it, simple as that. But I'm not talking about they should sign it because I'm so great at this, I'm so great at that. By the way, you understand how compliments work, right? A compliment is when someone else gives it to you. You do know that, right? How compliments work. Another person outside of you says it about you. That's a compliment, yes? You ever listen to realtors? They're like, I get it, you're like a superhero. So I don't do any of that. I just say, first of all, they came for the meeting, which means they're in the personality style group will behave. That's good, I already separated that. And then I got to get the buyer's agreement signed, but I don't want to try to talk them into it. I don't want to try to coerce them. I just want to leverage the law of reciprocation. So I just say, hey, listen guys, the next item I want to talk about is the buyer's agreement. I am not going to ask you to sign it today. I don't think that would be fair seeing as we're meeting for the first time. In a few minutes, we'll look at these 3 properties. If we like one of them, we'll sign it when we put the offer in. If not, bring it back, sign next time. They're like, 100%. So I call them Tuesday, hey, just a reminder, we're meeting tomorrow night at 5:30. And a reminder, I need the buyer's agreement signed. And I'm telling you, I am 100% from 1996 to present because of the law of reciprocation. That's how powerful it is. So you can leverage this on so many different levels. All clear? I just give you a couple of examples there. Okay. All right, we're going to do our next panel. I don't think Hussein is here, so we're supposed to. What are you doing over there, man? What are you? Okay, Hussein, Benny, come on up. Daryl King, come on up. Hassan Raza, come up. Big man, big. Big. You were always there, man. All right, man. Hope seat. Oh, it's Hassan Raza's first time on the panel here. He's a first-time panel guy. But he's a rock star. Yeah, his coaches brag for him nonstop. So I do a call with the coaches once a week, and yeah, all you coaches, they're talking to you guys a lot. Sam talks to you a lot. Okay, so I can't go quick. Oh, that's money. That's money, that one. That was money. Okay, so what we're doing is 3 questions. What are we doing today? That's the 3 things we're doing that are helping us in 2023. So, Hassan, why don't you start? But first, start with a little bit about how long you do business, kind of production, and stuff like that. Tell us about your. Is it on? He's like a professional at this.
Thank you. Hi, my name is Hassan Raza. I'm with Section 21 Integrated Realty in Scarborough. I've been in business for about 9 years now, and first time up here, so I'm a little bit nervous, but hopefully I'll be okay. Yeah, I joined coaching back in 2018. Sam's been my coach for the last 4.5 years. It's been an amazing experience. I think production-wise, I've almost doubled since before I started.
From what to what?
So I was about 12 to 15, and now about 30 to 35.
So that's got to be 700-800 grand. What did I say about classes? So you went from like about 250 to about 800.
600.
Yeah, I'm just thinking 8 for you though. Okay, but I'm going to talk to Sam about 8. Yeah, as a goal. Yeah. Anyways, okay, that's good. So that's awesome. Yeah. So 3 things that you're doing. So tell us something that you're doing that's working.
So I think this year, speaking to Sam, I'm focusing a lot on the database, so I'm doubling down. So 4 to 6 times a year, I'll try to get in touch with them. I know you teach once a quarter. This year, I think with the information going on in the market, our people need to be hearing from us a lot more. Giving them that information, being that voice of reason, I think helps a lot. And for me, one goal that I made with Sam was that this year I want to build my database even more. So I'm at about 350 people, I think, or 360. The goal this year is to get to 450 people. So I'm breaking it down very easy. So every week, I have to add 2 people into my database, and I'm trying to deepen those relationships with them for the rest of the year. And if I can get to 450 people, I can eventually just work my database and get my deals from there.
That is awesome. Hand it over to Hussein. Let me say something for it. So although our concept, our model is work 3 pillars, and data is number 1. But there is no doubt that we have lots of clients that have grown large databases and then they just drop the other 2. Because 450 people would be 45 deals, right? Which would be about $1 million through 2 or 3 or 4, be a big number, right? So that would be the ultimate business if that's all you're doing, right? That is pretty cool. You're a pretty young guy. How old are you? 37 tomorrow. Hey, happy birthday, man. Can we sing him happy birthday? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Sam. What's his name? Happy birthday to you. That's awesome. Hussein, tell us a little bit about you and your first thing.
Yeah, for sure. So my name is Hussein Kabani. Been on the stage before. I've been in real estate since 2011. I've been coaching with Rob since 2014 or 2015.
It seems longer.
It seems longer. But we've been together for a while. I went off path for a little bit, but then I came right back. Like Jasmine mentioned, it's not a very sexy program, but it actually works. So I found myself back over here. One of the things I'm actually doing this year, because I had a hectic end of year, so I think it's different for everybody depending on where you're kind of at. One of the major things I'm working on right now is still my evening routine. I know we heard a lot about morning routines, but for me, if I just start up in the morning, it's a little bit difficult for me because I didn't plan the night before. So for me, I'm actually trying to plan the night before. So around 9:30, I actually start a shutdown routine. So that actually gets me ready for bed, and then it actually gets me hyped up in the morning because I already know what I'm going to do. So at night, I review my journal, I've gone through my stuff, I know what I'm going to be doing for tomorrow, and it actually gets me fired up when I wake up at 5:30.
Before you give them... in October, you were on stage with Ima, your wife. She's adorable, by the way. Yeah. So, well, if she was feeling better, she'd be up there. She was supposed to be up there. Yeah, she would be here. Anyways, we were talking in October about the big push to get to write $1 million, right? And we were like, yeah, you guys remember that? You were here. We were talking about, can I write $1 million? Never done that before in 1 year. But we were talking, it's a big push. How did you end up last year?
I know I got a little bit lazy. I could have made it if I really wanted to. I'm going to be honest with you guys, but I got up to 900,000. Just over 900, I think 930. And I can't really complain to anybody.
So we ended up getting a 908?
930, I think.
930. So if you just call a few more people. So
it would have happened for sure.
But we were sitting at about 6 and something. So it was a big push.
It was a huge push.
That was a big finish.
Yeah.
930.
No, but when you guys were here in October.
Yeah.
Where were we?
600. We were just over 600. Yeah.
So in October, then December,
yeah.
Another 300.
Yeah. In our coaching program, we call the fourth quarter the push. And we make everybody work until the Friday before Christmas, then take 2 weeks off. And so everybody pushes hard there. And Oswald mentioned that everyone else doesn't work and there's lots of sales. So on Treb, the fourth quarter is the smallest quarter, but it's our client's second biggest quarter every year because they really push to that day. And we ended up writing 300,000 in that time frame. It was a good ride. Okay, over to Daryl. Tell us a little bit about yourself and give us an idea.
I'm a rookie in this business. Me and Rob just started yesterday. But I'll tell you what, you guys need to stand up, stretch your legs, go, woo! Get the legs out there. You guys are asleep here. Come on, stretch those legs. Woo, woo, woo. Let's hear it for the guys up there on stage right now. Let's hear it for the other panels all morning. Are they not great?
don't think so.
Anyway, like, who got something today that they could walk away with and feel they won today, right? We did a round table at lunch with my team, and a couple of them had the same answer, but outside of that, there's like almost 20 of us here, and they all had a different answer. So everybody got something different. And the same people were on stage. Rob was on stage talking. But it's what you want to get out of it is what's most important. You know, whenever I go to an event, I always think, what am I going to pick up today? Some days it might be from Rob, some days from the guys from the panel, or some days just from everybody out that I meet out there, right? You never know where you're going to pick up that nugget. So there was a lot of nuggets out there today, and I'm talking a lot. Now I'm a rookie, I've only been in it 33 years, right? So, you know, it's not my first time on stage by any shape of imagination. But I'll tell you what, no matter what, this is the first time up, happy birthday. Married, single? Married, so you single girls? He's up, right? And he's got a beautiful young wife. You know, she was up here in October with him, right? So it doesn't matter where you are today. The past is the past. You can't change the past. You can't be living in the future. It's not there yet. So right now, we're all right here. So the matter that matters most is living in the present. So live right for today. I'm humbled and blessed that I had the opportunity to come up on stage. Humbled and blessed that I got to even come here. Every morning my 2 feet hit the ground, I feel so thankful, right? So be humble, number one. So if you ask me the number one thing that I would think about is health. Last week I was in a hospital bed, had a small operation. It wasn't expected, but something happened. So you never know about your health. Before you played that hockey game, your knee was good, right? Guys, the number one thing is your health and your family. If you look after those two things, you can be successful in whatever you do, right? So, what is the question that you want me to ask? How long have you been in business?
Just a little bit about yourself, but that's, I think you've done that part. What's one thing you can give them?
So, the one thing, for all of you guys that showed up here today is networking. Learning from one of the greatest coaches out there. What he teaches is a lot different than a lot of the other. Listen, I'm with all the other coaches. But every coach has their own little twist or little line or whatever the case be. You can have 1 pillar, 2 pillar, 3 pillars, whatever amount of pillars there is, it doesn't matter. It's what works for you. What he teaches, if you do what he teaches, it works. So the fact that even one of you guys showed up today in this supposedly social media storm, so that's one thing, don't listen to social media, it sucks, right? It's the worst thing you can do. But stand up really and give yourself the loudest applause you can. Get your energy going. Applaud yourself. Let's thank Rob. Let's thank Carissa. Without having people like him to give us leadership and to grow. Look at you guys were young rookies. And look at 930,000 him and his young wife. What did you do 2 years before that? Under 700. Nice growth, eh? We're like a $250,000 growth in 2 years. 2 years ago, where are we at? Right? And what are you on track for hopefully this year? So he's looking at double his production in 2 or 3 years. Guys, it doesn't matter, you're not. It's not about him, me, or you. It's about within. You compete with yourself. There's different levels of everywhere. And this, I'm an anomaly. Like, to try and clone me is a very hard thing. I'm just off the wall, right? But it doesn't matter. I want to teach everybody that you can be the best you are, and that's all that's important. Be the best who you are and respect everybody. I'll tell you when I freaked out, I was just talking to him about it. I don't watch the news too much, but I was a little tired yesterday. I was up in Bradford. And I'm watching on 24, just trying to check the weather. And I see this lady in a gas station. These 2 hoods smashed her to the ground, knocked her out cold, and they stole her vehicle. I said to him, if I had seen them, I would have ran them over. I honest to God. And the one person videoed, I don't know who videoed it, there was other people. Not one person came to help her out. Man.
That's why I need a good knee, right? Need a hero. That's what I'm talking about.
Really, guys. I don't care who you are, man or woman, you see that? Run them over. Seriously.
Okay, so you're getting another shot. Pass it over to Hassan. So we're all going to share 3 things that we're doing one at a time. So Daryl's is, if you see bad people, run them over. That's what he's saying. Okay? Be the hero. Run them over. Thank you. That was inspiring. What else are we doing? I wasn't joking. That was inspiring.
It's hard to top that. I would say one thing that I'm doing a lot more this year than last year, and something that Sam's helped me out with as well, is more visualization. So every morning before I do my prospecting, for about just 3 to 5 minutes, I just close my eyes, set a timer, and I'll literally visualize, me making deals, leads, my chart filling up, people calling me, that abundance of mentality just coming to you all the time. That's worked wonders. I mean, if you guys have ever had a chance to do that, I think it's good. It's a game changer. Second thing is affirmation. So I drop my daughter off at school every morning, 8 o'clock. It's about a half an hour ride to school, and together we say our affirmations together. So she likes it, I like it. If we're running late, we'll get your call as well. And she won't say your affirmation because she's like, that's for you, Dad. I have my own. But that's fine, but she likes it. So we've got her into the system as well of being positive. And I think overall just the visualization, the psychology of what Rob teaches, it's been such a game changer for me and my family, and can't thank you enough for that.
You're welcome.
One of the other things I've been doing, and Rob mentioned it earlier when he was talking, I'm trying not to be everything for everybody. I'm really trying to narrow down who I want to work with. One quick example I had yesterday was a past client of mine that kind of went astray. Then he called me up, and I worked with him and his sister wants to make a, she's working with an agent but hasn't signed with that agent, and they have a multiple offer situation that they want to bid on today. So he was basically calling me and telling me that, hey, listen, can you give me your idea of what it is and maybe she'll work with you kind of thing. And I basically just turned around and said, hey, listen, if you're not going to sign a customer service agreement, I'm not going to lock you in for anything else, but for this house alone, if you want me to...
Get your business card. Come on up stage, get a hat or something, get my bag. And
hold on, we already got all the cards.
No, but I'll do it here separately for that. I'm going to pay for that.
Well, can we do it at the end?
Yeah, we'll do it at the end. We'll do it at the end. Absolutely. So, just be 100% committed to yourself. Every day, make sure that you can look in the mirror and say, I gave my best, right? It's not about competing with anybody else. You look in the mirror and say, I give it 100 or 110% of the best I can do with my capabilities. And then you go to bed and sleep well. Right? Rob, thank you.
Big hands for these guys. Big!
I'll take that.
Okay. All right. Just, we're going to take another quick stretch, just so everyone knows what we're going to do. Just don't, not yet, but you're going to take a quick stretch. I have one more principle to teach you after a quick stretch. It's called the everyone defending from no one who is attacking. And I'm going to explain it to you. It'll only take about maybe 15 minutes, and then we're going to have some draws. We have some baskets over there with, Chris buys Rob Vivian Coaching stuff, so the basket's got the books. Rob Vivian Coaching chapstick. Think of me when you use it. Pen, cup, Rob Vivian Coaching logo golf balls. I don't buy this stuff, okay? But there's some baskets we're going to give away there. And so the law, the everyone defending no was attacking. When I explain this to you a little bit later, the 2 applications I'm going to show you is at open houses. You should be back to doing them again.
They're great ways to get business. It was never one of my pillars, but I've done hundreds of them. I don't think I ever did an open house that'll pick me up business. It's just they happen on Sunday afternoons. That's what I do them all the time. So when someone walks in the front door, they would be defending from no one who was attacking, which means you have to know how to disable that. Otherwise, they're going to lie to you for 15 minutes. That's how that's going to go. Also, when it comes to pre-qualifying, see, pre-qualifying a lead isn't how much do they owe, how much do they make, what's their GDS, what's the TDS, tell me what are you looking for. That's just data that you need to collect in order to service them. Pre-qualifying a lead is having the lead open up and tell you where they're going, when they want to be there, and why they're going there. And once they open up and tell you their story, they feel more connected to you. You see that? But the everyone defending from those who's attacking would stop them and hinder them from opening up and telling you their story. So what I'm going to show you after we take a quick break is how do you disable that? How would you form the questions so you would disable the everyone defending from those who's attacking, then they would open up and tell you what's going on with them, and then you would know their story. I'll use those two examples. It's another way to be a more skilled realtor. I don't know if I mentioned this or not, but so if you're thinking about our one-on-one coaching, which you should be, we always do it this way. The first month is always free. So everyone that joins today, March is free. We'll get you up and running this last week, and the month of March is free. And then there's 3 months of paying. So it's only a total of 4 months in the contract, and then it's fully open forever. So your contract, Monica, has been open for 3.5 years, just so you know, month to month. So we're not a coaching company that signs people up for a year. Most people do, to be honest with you. So when you get assigned to your coach, the coach knows this. They have 120 days to show you that we're worth it. That's all they have. And so that's how quickly things can happen in our coaching program. I'd love to see a whole bunch of new people on the stage. So go get involved in coaching or scripts and dialogues. I know the tendency is in the last session people to bolt. Trust me, when we come back after a quick break, it won't be long, and you'll learn how the everyone defending from who's attacking works and how to disable that, and that'll help you immensely. Let's take a little break. You want me to handle it? And they said, yeah. Okay. And we signed the contract. But that was supposed to be my way out. But they said, yep. I'm like, seriously, there's nothing I can say to offend you guys beyond the point of, because obviously, I don't know what I can come up with, but calling your wife pregnant and your son your daughter, right? I don't know what else I can do. Here. Anyways, okay, so let me break down, everyone is defending from no one who is attacking. It's just a really little simple principle that will make you so much more of a skilled realtor. It won't take me too long to explain this. And so it works like this. So when a psychologist teaches this material, everyone defending from no one who's attacking, they always do this with their hands. Like everyone is defending from no one who's attacking. That's how they do it. And so I'm a expressive personality style. So I'm fairly confident. So if you took me somewhere as your +1, and you're the only other person there that I know, and there's a thing going on here, and there's 500 people, I wouldn't walk in the room being all me. You guys know that, right? There's a period of time where I engage in the room, yes? Yes? That is this. Everyone defending from no one who's attacking. That's what's taking place. And once I get to a certain level of comfort, then I open up and become me, which is usually embarrassing for my wife. Because I'm always looking to do and say things when I don't know anybody. Like we're checking out these small country churches where we live in the lake now. And so there's like 40 people in these churches, 30 people, 20 people, half of them are wearing coveralls. So when you go in there, they notice you, yes? And they go, we have some guests. So hi, we have some guests. Can you introduce yourself? I said, hi, I'm Rob. This is my wife, Colleen. We were just on the way to the casino. And we ran out of gas out front. We're hoping we can get a ride. I was like, what? That was one church. Another one. This like again, 30 people there. And this younger farmer guy is telling this story. He says, you know, I'm trying to make him go out farming. And all the other older farmers, they're like encouraging me, you can do it. And so as soon as I told the story, Colleen looks at me, please just leave it alone. But you know I can't, right? So he said, yeah, so I was out plowing, and the plow lost its metal part. and I can't really afford being a new farmer to fix it. So we couldn't find it. So I said to my son, you know, it's getting dark. Let's just go in the house. Let's leave it alone. Let's pray about it. And we'll go the next day. We came out the next morning, and it was laying right behind the tractor. And everybody was like, oh. And I went, I have a story. And that's when Paul was like, oh, come on. And he said, what's your story? I'm out walking down this country road with my wife the other day. I found this little metal part. I said to her, I wish I hit that tractor with it. Yeah, I didn't hit the tractor, it fell right behind it. And they're all like, what? I'm just kidding. I don't know why I didn't tell you those stories, but anyways. So everyone defended from notice attacking. All right, so in regard to open houses, I'll give you a couple of applications to this. Oh, I know what's coming out. Because the different personality styles, driver, expressive, analytical, amiable, would all drop the everyone defending from notice attacking at different rates. The expressive of planet is the more confident, so they would drop it quicker. The amiable, you could take them to that function, and they might not drop it the entire 2 hours, 3 hours. They might arrive, defending from attacking, staying in their comfort zone, and leave still in their comfort zone. But they drop it at different paces, but that means everyone that enters your open house, it's happening, yes? Yes? So if you ask questions that are too direct, you would butt up against the everyone defending from the side. So they come to the front door, say, hey, are you working with a realtor? No. Which is why realtors tell me all the time, everyone tells me everyone else has a realtor. Well, that can't be possible. But if you didn't understand that when they walked through the front door, they were currently defending from no one who was attacking, and you asked a direct question, and you butted up against the everyone defending, caused them to defend or deflect, which is also called lying. You cause them to lie. And then once they lie there, they're going to go to the wrong number now and lie to you for the next 15 minutes, yes? So the trick on the open house is to recognize that and to be patient and wait for the everyone defending from no one who's attacking to melt away, and then you can start talking to these people. Yes, you got to stay a little further back. So the comfort zone that people have. So if I was down the front row and Daryl was sitting here and I was over here, and I would say to Daryl, "Am I in your comfort zone?" He'd say no. But if I walk up right beside him, he would go, "That's awkward." Yes, you guys get that? But when this is happening, everyone defending, this is a much bigger area. So that means, what would you take this close to make Daryl feel uncomfortable? It would make you feel comfortable, right? Oh, that's weird. Don't use my chapstick. Don't think of me when you use it. And so, but if you get this close, well, this is happening, it's just like that. Which means you can't run up to the door, "Hey, how's it going?" You can't do that. Even though you're friendly. Now you're in their zone. You guys understand that? You're causing everyone defending from those attacking. You can't do that. So when I do open houses, I watch the golf tournament. It's Sunday afternoon, yes? I watch the golf tournament. Huh? Yeah, side issue. So I watch the golf tournament. That's round 4. And those are saying to me a lot, "Would you turn it off quick?" Why do I care if they know I'm watching golf? It's not porn. It's golf. I'm not embarrassed to watch golf. Why would I turn it off? What do they think I'm doing in there? Meditating? So I'm watching golf. I get, rapid work. Hello, right? So I go to the foyer and I stop this far back because I don't want to get in and butt up against everyone defending from the attack. I need that to melt away. You guys understand that? I stay back here and I welcome to the open house. And they say something like, "Oh, how much is this one?" "Oh, this one is $9.99. And then I give them an instruction. There are feature sheets on the dining room table. Record your visit. Feel free to take a feature sheet. And they go, "Okay," like a little sheet, yes? But why would I go with them over to sign in? Because now I'm too close to them, yes? Well, this is still happening. I have to stay away, you understand? And the thing is about the subconscious mind, when you learn psychology, you don't teach it to your subconscious mind. It already knows it. You learn it in your conscious mind, you understand that? So when I stay back here, and they enter, and I say, "Welcome to the open house," and their subconscious mind says this to them, "Oh, he's a smart one. He stayed outside your comfort zone. Good job on that." I just got 2 thumbs up for the subconscious mind. And then I say, "There are feature sheets on the dining room table. Record your business. Feel free to take a feature sheet." That's called leading in psychology, yes? It's an instruction. And as they're walking over, their subconscious mind looking back at me, I saw what you did, that was a good job. Good job on that. 2 thumbs up, 2 thumbs up. Have you guys heard this saying that people listen to who they like? It's not like they like their friends and family. It's when their subconscious mind keeps giving you 2 thumbs up. There's something about you that they like. They can't know it. It's in their subconscious mind. They will sign in now, yes? Well, I didn't make them lie at the front door, so probably not going to lie now. You understand that? And then they come into the kitchen, and I always make sure I position myself over here. I realize not all homes are kitchen to back, living room, dining room, foyer, but a lot of them are, yes? So I sit over here. So as soon as they come through there, because when I stay back, their subconscious mind acknowledge that. I see what you do. You're staying outside our comfort zone. Good job on that. She's on the dining room table, record your visit, feel free to appreciate it. Nice job, instruction, good job. And then, when they walk through here, as soon as they walk through the door and see me over there, their subconscious mind says this to them, okay, drop it. Drop it. Good relative, know what they're doing, drop it. And then everybody defending melts away. You guys understand that? And now you can talk to them. That's all. Now that you know this, your next open house, watch this process take place. It's fascinating. And you might want to think, oh my gosh, I think I'm all over them right now. Butting up against, butting up against, butting up against, butting up against. And when they drop everyone defending from those attacking, because something just happened in their subconscious mind, they have to fill that. Like they don't know what happened because it's in the subconscious mind, yes? But they know something happened, so they feel obligated to do something. So they ask a question. So you can know, as soon as they come in here, is regardless of if they're driver, expressive, adult, or animal, in a social setting, the expressive will drop it first. This is in a social setting. As soon as they walk in, they see over there, their subconscious mind say, okay, let's drop this. So they will, but then something happened in them, you understand? So then they're going to ask a question. Are the appliances included? What's supposed to be on this one? Are there any offers on this one? As soon as they come into the kitchen and ask a question, you can now know that the everyone defending from who's attacking is now gone. You guys understand that? And then you can start with, you guys live in the area, you want to move the area, you have a realtor helping you, and so on. Start asking your questions. But when you start asking those questions prior to the everyone defending from who's attacking dropping, all you're going to get is defend or deflect, yes? Which is also known as, that's not really their fault, is it? So this, when it comes to open houses, do that, and you will be shocked. Now here's the thing, sometimes when they come in, they went to another open house and that person put them on the live train, right? So they were already on the live train when they showed up. I didn't put them on it, which means when they went to sign in, they probably lied. Because it's prior to this all happening, correct? Understand that? That happens a lot. And then when we're all done, I say to them, by this time, your subconscious mind is like, this guy's on fire. Or this gal's on fire because 2 thumbs up, 2 thumbs up, 2 thumbs up, 2 thumbs up, every time you do something right. And then I say, hey, I'll get in touch with you guys, you left your number, yes? Now they're thinking, okay, so I lied, but that was before I fell in love with him. Right? But before we did everything correct, so now what are we doing? They're not going to say to you, I lied, I would like to correct it. But what happened is this, is I say, you left your number, right? And they say, I did. Can I get a better number to reach you? Yeah, that'd be great. You'll hear that a lot. Because they already were on the light trade, and your correct behavior, by waiting till everyone defending has melted away, will cause them like you, and that'll cause them to correct your number. Second way, write this down, please. In regard to pre-qualifying. In regard to pre-qualifying. So pre-qualifying is finding out where they want to go, when they want to be there, and why they're going there. But if you have somebody call you late, you list a property and it sells. The luck of the draw for you is somebody down the street bought a new home 18 months ago and for a 20-month closing or whatever, and then now it's time to list and you sell a house on the street. That's the luck of the draw for you. So they call you and they say, hey, we saw you sold that. We're thinking of moving. But also this is a new conversation with them and you, yes or no? So they are doing this, do you understand? So if you were to say, oh, well, where are you moving to? That's a direct question which would butt up against the everyone defending from who's attacking, you understand? Which would cause them to say, no, I just want to know the price. Yes? Which is why you get that so much. So what you have to know now is, okay, I have to know how to on this call, melt away the everyone defending from no one who's attacking, right? So write this down. All I have to do is ask my questions hypothetically. All I have to do is ask my questions hypothetically. Somebody's like, hypothetically. Hooked on phonics. So, for example, so if they called it, that was a scenario, and they said, we saw you told that, we're thinking of moving. And you said, oh, where are you moving to? No, I just want to know the price. Or, oh, okay, if you were to move, because that's hypothetical, yes. If you were to move, where would you locate to? Brooklyn. And then they might wonder why I told them that. I certainly wasn't planning to tell them that. But the point is, as soon as you ask hypothetically, see in the conscious mind, the subconscious mind, everybody's subconscious mind is an unguarded place. You can approach it. This is how hypnotists hypnotize people. I'm not for or against hypnotists. I don't have an opinion on it. I just want to know why they can do it. So if you ask the question directly, conscious mind. Hypothetically, subconscious mind. So if I said, if you were to move, where would you locate to? Their subconscious mind would say to them, this is a hypothetical question. You're in a safe zone with them. Tell them. They go, Brooklyn. That's the process, just happens in a millisecond. So now I know Brooklyn, yes. Then I have to ask the second. I need to know where they're going, when they want to be there, why they're going there. Hypothetical, hypothetical, hypothetical. If I ask direct, they butts up against everyone defending and they can't answer. I can't talk right now, I gotta speak to my husband. I can't talk right now, I gotta speak to my wife. I only want to know the price. We're not ready yet, or whatever they say. And they're defending us. Or I can say, okay, you're thinking of moving, if you were to move, where would you relocate to? Brooklyn. And then they might wonder, I don't know why I said that. I said, okay, so if you make this move to Brooklyn, hypothetical, and you can pick your perfect closing date, what would that be? Well, our baby's due in August. What am I telling this guy this stuff for? That's what you're thinking. But I'm asking my questions hypothetically, you understand? Okay, so if you make the move to Brooklyn, I was curious what would take you there. Well, we're going to be closer to our granddaughter. What am I doing? And then they probably say, I wasn't planning to tell you all that. But a pre-qualified lead is finding out where they want to go, when they want to be there, why they want to go there. The data you collect is data you collect to service people, yes? Imagine if you get a sign call and they can tell you in the first minute that their daughter's having their first grandchild, right? And they're looking to move up to this area so they get closer to the grandchild, maybe closer to the cottage. That's a pretty good conversation in the first minute, yes or no? And that's the way it is. So when it comes to pre-qualifying, in human behavior, it's like there's people have a cork right here on their throat. And once they start talking about themselves, opening up to you, it's like the cork pops out and it just keeps spewing, you understand? So I get a sign call, and they say, we're thinking of moving. I say, okay, if you were to move, where would you locate to? And they tell me immediately. And then they might think, I wonder why I did that. Because the hypothetical question bypasses the conscious mind, goes to the subconscious mind, and the subconscious mind sends a message that you're in a safe zone with this person because it's hypothetical. And so because they're in a safe zone, they tell you, okay, so if you make this move there, and you pick the perfect closing, what would that be? Well, we're looking to move here at this time. Okay, great. So we make the move up to there. I'm curious what takes you there. It's going to be closer to work and closer to my daughter. Okay. Now, in the first minute, I know that they're going to move there. I know when, I know why. Yes? That's the pre-qualified lead. Yes or no, people? You can't go on a listing appointment and have them say, so what's the value? 20.2. Well, that'll get us to Calgary. What's going on in Calgary? You can't find that out at the listing appointment. That would have come up in the asking where, when, and why hypothetically, you understand? So when you ask hypothetical questions, you bypass the conscious mind with the subconscious mind, and the subconscious mind literally tells them you're in a safe zone with you. And they'll probably say, in fact, because that, I mean, think about this, where would you move to? If you were to move, where would you move to? It's very close, yes? It's subtle. So I would be willing to bet that a lot of you, if you weren't aware of this, you accidentally ask your questions hypothetically every now and again. And when you do, they open to tell you everything. And they probably say to you, I can't believe I opened up to you like that. I wasn't planning on doing that. I don't usually open up to lots of people. It's just because you formed your questions at that time, hypothetically, you understand? If you don't know the people, you just do this from this day forward every time, you'd be a way more skilled person. And the last point on this, before we do some draws, is, and whatever it is you were doing, I'm not even sure what it is. Oh, okay, all right. So
A lot of the things we teach, you would use with people you know, okay? Like, if you get an objection from someone you know, you should repeat, approve, build a bridge. If you get a listening point with someone you don't know that well, you should probably follow the seller's 6 questions. But this one, people that you know would currently not be defending from no one who's attacking, right? And asking your questions hypothetically disables the everyone defending from no one who's attacking. So if the everyone defending from no one who's attacking is not present, you can disable it, you understand? So it's not like it wouldn't be as useful, it wouldn't be helpful, it wouldn't land. So if your best friend calls you and says, hi, hey listen, I want to let you know we bought a new home, standing inventory, closes in 60 days, we need to get our house sold. And if you said, okay, if you were to move, where would you go to? They'd say, what's wrong with you? I literally just told you where we're moving, right? So it's not like this wouldn't be as helpful, it won't land. Because in order, when you talk hypothetical, you're trying to disable the everyone defending from who's attacking, but if it isn't present, you can't do it, understand? So people you do know, you never use this technique. People that you don't know, you always use this technique, yes? Yeah. Okay, so, you gonna come up with the draws? You're like man or white, get up here. First of all, you know you want to come up here. So just, we'll do these draws. We have 5 baskets here, and then whatever you're...
Man or white, right?
Is this for anybody that's not on your team?
No, nobody on our team can win it. Only one that's not on.
Oh, the opposite to that. All right, fine. So, we'll do this draw. There's 5 baskets. They're just Rob Vivian Coaching paraphernalia that Chris applies. There's the 5 books, a cup, chapstick, pen, logo golf balls, just Rob Vivian Coaching stuff. So we'll do 5 of them.
I'm not sure he knows everything that's in there.
I'm not in charge of buying that stuff.
It's so much fun spending company money. It's shopping, we don't like credit cards.
All right, who works at Sector 21? Not you guys. Oh, well, I don't know. Let these guys decide. You're mean people. But I agree. Annabella Ruiz. Look at you smiling at me with that. Come on. She has been smiling at me the entire time, agreeing with everything I say. Plus, she's sitting right there.
First choice, they all have the same thing. There's some stuff in it.
Oh, there's also a hat, Robin. That's a great hat, by the way. You can't wear it on your course anyways, though. Because you can't wear logo stuff on your course.
Alright.
Oh, you're a rebel. You're at Summit, right? Yeah, you're not allowed to wear it. Look at it. Oh, I see. All right. Okay, first of all, I'm not going to be able to say that last name, which pretty much tells you it's Sri Lankan. Whenever I go to a Sri Lankan office, I always say the same thing. You know, I realize there's 26 letters. Don't use them all. Like there's like 5 names in there. Siva, Ramjan, Ramjan. So why do you keep going? What's wrong with Siva Ramjan? Right? Okay, is Sivij, Siva, Gamaran, Siva Gamaran. Actually, it's longer than that, but we'll go with that. Look at you. Pick one. Who do you think? You're Joe King here? You want the microphone?
I was thinking in my head today what you guys talking about, and I never won the gift ever in the previous roles. Today I was thinking myself, I'm going to get something. For some reason, I don't know. I'm super surprised.
That is awesome. By the way, that's not the first time I've heard that story from people. You know, I was never winning it, but you know, I'm winning something. Boom, I did. I hear that story a lot, actually. Okay, we are on a Remax roll here. Okay, so let's see here.
So obviously this business card is not for people over 60. Because that name is really small.
Yeah, I had a feeling this was happening. Okay, so it is Remax. Eliza Shaw Aslam. Are you here? Eliza Shaw Aslam. There you are.
Too small. You can read that?
Oh, yeah.
Wow. Very welcome. Congratulations. Is that true? Did Chris tell you don't buy the books, you might win the basket? Is that true?
I might have said it to someone else. I don't know.
Oh, so you have extra ones now. Right on.
Don't need to read that stuff.
Yes.
He has them.
The name's so small.
All right, Miriam Ganyasai. I thought I did pretty good on her last name there. Thank you. Come on.
Well, yeah, can't say that now. Grab one of those. Thank you.
All right, last one. And then girls. And then Sandy.
I can see this one. Nancy Fagan. Josh Colleen. Josh Colleen, come on up. So congratulations. Oh, Daryl. So, come on up, Josh, Colleen. So here we're giving a new agent.
You get me for 8 weeks.
Wait, whoa! I didn't like that. Yeah, no.
This is for our new agent coaching that's going to be starting on March 9th, which is Thursday. It's running from 1 to 3. Daryl got everyone that's not on his team. He's doing a draw for it, and he is paying for you to get back hours. Oh, excellent. So happy. That's fun for you. Oh, you agree they have to be here, right? Yes. All right.
Before we do the draw, I definitely want to make sure we all say thank you to these guys. Let's give it a big hand, guys.
Okay, do draw.
You're doing it. You got it.
Oh, interesting. I was actually just feeling this card. It felt so nice and like matte. It's a very nice card. This is a Harvey Palace person, actually. Where's Harvey Palace? Who's in Harvey Palace here? Just one?
Then probably you
Are
then.
you Jay Sharifi?
Yeah.
Go on. Congratulations on that. We'll give Rob a handshake too. You're up here with the family now. Yeah, that will be awesome.
Welcome.
Excellent.
Okay, so just before we take off, on behalf of my family and Daryl, stay if you want. So, you know, we know that there are a lot of coaching companies. You have lots of options on places that you go. We'll be back here in July again. And we decided we are going to do our events for free. I think that's a good thing to do for the real estate community. So, so from my family to you, thank you for coming. We appreciate you guys. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Drive safe, okay?
Thank you.